Welcome back, Danksters. It is your boy, Danks, the only original Dankster. Let me fix my mic. I hope everyone's doing well today. We've got a heck of a show for you, and it's going to be very much aligned with Easter, Chris Bledsoe, what he talked about on Sean Ryan. We're going to show a lot of that. We're going to talk about Jesse's latest video, Jesse on Fire. And we're going to dive into Easter being 5 days away. So come on in. What's up, Low Key? Good to see you, man. Longtime homie. What's up, Elena? Good to see you. We're going to be covering a lot of things here. And I'm liking this commentary coverage of some of the more important things people are putting out online. And I think that I can bring in a unique perspective and discuss some of the most important things that our Pentagon believes. The war in Iran, what all of this is. Is this a religious war? What is going on exactly, right? So today's March 31st, 2026, and Easter is what, 5 days away? So to be honest, I've been sitting here for a few hours trying to figure out how to start this stream, because everything I want to say sounds insane to say it out loud, to be honest. And I have spent the last 3 months on this channel refusing to say things that sound insane. That's kind of my thing, right? Receipts or it doesn't count. Facts over narrative. So let me give you the receipts first and let you decide how insane it sounds afterwards. So a man wrote a letter to the Pentagon in 2012. Not a Reddit post, not a tweet, not an anonymous tip to a journalist, but a letter to the United States Department of Defense. It was delivered in a classified briefing by someone who had already been investigated by the CIA, by NASA, and by representatives of the Vatican. And in that letter, he described a vision. Some of you might know this story. He described a vision, a specific sequence of events that a being he calls the Lady told him was coming. And he wrote down the dates. He described Iran and Israel exchanging missiles. He described orbs appearing out of the ocean in response to that exchange, actually. So a lot of people might think these are different interactions that are happening that are completely separate. Well, Chris Bledsoe describes them as part of the same phenomena. He described April 2026 as the window when this is supposed to happen. Now, 14 years ago, he wrote that in a letter to the Pentagon. Now, if you look at your phone right now, you can open up a news app and you could probably tell me what you see, because what I see is a lot of headline of Iran and Israel in an active military exchange in the Middle East. What I see is the skies over the continental United States lighting up with objects that professional fireball researchers are calling anomalous after years of stable baseline activity. What I see, something possibly hitting the moon on March 26th that nobody in mainstream media thought deserved more than a footnote or a chuckle and a laugh. What I see is airports in Denver diverting aircraft without explanation, canceling air flight, all kinds of craziness. People across multiple states reporting that they felt a physical energy wave passing through their body when these objects appeared overhead. And I see April 4th sitting on my calendar looking like a loaded weapon. So today, I'm going to connect these threads, all of them, best I can. This is going to be kind of a longer show today. And we are pulling the threads on everything that's been kind of happening since January and putting it into a complete picture. The Talmud stream that I did, the Salem Media Foreign Operation just from yesterday, the Bledsoe stream that we did not too long ago, the Pharaoh filings, the dispensationalist theology that has been programming millions of Americans, American Christians for over 100 years, the geopolitical, the thesis, I guess you could say, that really explains exactly why America went to war with Iran, with Israel at Iran, I guess you could say, and exactly who benefits when it ends. There's leaked documents showing there are people in positions of real institutional power who believe, and they sincerely, devoutly, with their whole chest, believe that they have a biblical mandate to trigger a thermonuclear exchange. Not to win a war, but to bring about the Messiah or to bring back Jesus by starting a nuclear holocaust. These are not fringe people that you would typically say, you would not typically call them fringe, or maybe you will now, but these are people with access to senators, to generals, to policy architects. Jesse on Fire showed DMs. We're going to show them. We are going to read them on the screen. We're going to show this today. So if you came here looking for a calm, well, I'm always pretty calm, but more of a measured, both sides policy discussion or political commentating, I love you, but this is not that stream today. This is the stream where we're going to be looking at exactly what is actually happening, what has been predicted, like actually predicted, and has been unfolding, and what the people in power actually believe. And we tell the truth about all of it on this channel without apology. I'm not an apologist. And without any permission, we just do it. So put a 1 in the chat if you have been here since the last, since I was at my mom's house streaming in the couch. Put a 1 in the chat. Let me know if you have. Put a 2 in the chat if today is your first time being here. I'd love to know. It's still a little bit early. Either way, welcome, and share this right now. Hit that like button. Maybe we can get a little time going with the hit the like button song. Should I pull a Mr. Let Go right now? Let me see.
Hey, that's Swear TNT.
Oh, yeah. There's that liturgy. We don't talk soft on this side.
Triple tap them drums, light the chat up.
If you tune in, you're part of the Scooby gang.
Everybody hit the like button
right now.
Hey, everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. What? Drop your city in the chat. Don't be acting afraid. Hit the like button. Let the system get played. Hey. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. We exposing all the fake ones. Hide and shade. Hit the like button at the cold mate. Hey, real life to the show, for the script. Now the cat looks shady. Ho said sound fake like a proper. Maybe talking planes in the sky.
All right. Enough of the games. So let's do this. Let's go. Because right now, before we go any second deeper, make sure that we are all dialed in. I've got everything lined up. So let me tell you about a man named Chris Bledsoe. And before I say anything else about him, I need you to understand something. Again, I've spent quite some time digging through filings for days, reading passages and things that I wish I never read, to be honest, but I'm glad I did. Tracing the financial history of even biblical texts that were rewired for hundreds of American Christians without their knowledge or consent. I've been through the receipts. That is what I do. I do not traffic in feelings. I don't like to hang out in the vibe sector. I like to hang out around the documents. So when I tell you Chris Bledsoe is one of the most important persons I've covered ever on this channel, I need you to understand that it is not me being dramatic. It is just me telling you that after everything I have seen, after all the documents, the IRS 990 filings, the TPUSA investigations, the Talmud passaging, the foreign agent registration stuff, which is pretty important, but I think it all kind of leads to this direction. And that thread really terrifies me the most, because a lot of this started with, well, it started at a river in North Carolina. I think it was in 2007 with a dying man and a fishing rod. Now, in September of 2007, again in Cape Fear River, Chris Bledsoe is not who you think he is when you first hear about him. He's not a UFO guy, UAP guy. He does not wear a tinfoil Speedo, although I do. I have a really nice crumpled up tinfoil Speedo. But, in 2007, his life kind of went on fire, but he did not spend his 20s reading about extraterrestrials or attending disclosure conferences or running a website about alien contact. He is a builder. As a Christian man from this is what we've been told and what he said himself. He's a Christian man from North Carolina who has been putting up houses for 2 decades, and he's done over 100 houses a year at his peak. One of the biggest residential builders in his county, and he has a family, a business, a life that makes complete, boring, unremarkable American sense. The American dream, you might say. But then again, in 2007, that life was set on fire. The housing market is not just slowing down, it is collapsing. His company is underwater at this point. His finances are gone. His body is failing. He has Crohn's disease at this time, which, if you don't know what that is, it is an autoimmune disorder or a condition where your digestive system attacks itself. My dad has it. It's hereditary, but you get chronic pain, inflammation, weight loss, fatigue that makes your body feel like it's eating itself from the inside, from what I've been told. It's horrendous. His doctors are watching it progress, and there is no cure, and there is no really great outcome on the horizon. And this dude is watching everything he built financially, physically, come apart all at the same time. Imagine that. He goes to the Cape Fear River one night with his teenage son and 3 of his workers. And so that's 5 people. And he goes because he has nothing left to lose, and is fishing because fishing is something he can still do. Now, 5 people go to that river. None of them come back the same. I am not going to describe in detail what they each experienced because Bledsoe describes it himself in the clip we're about to watch, and his words are better than mine, albeit slow. I sped it up 1.5x, so we'll get to see that. But here is what you need to know before you see it. Multiple orbs of light. His son, Chris Jr., sees creatures in the woods, glowing red eyes, about 2.5 to 3 feet tall. His son lays down on his stomach and crawls under a truck because he's so terrified. Now, a massive tic-tac shaped craft. All 5 of these witnesses see it. 4 hours of missing time that none of them can account for, and they do not know where the time went. Kind of scary. Now, one moment is 1 hour, and the next moment, 4 hours have passed, and nobody can explain what happened in between. And when Chris Bledsoe, when he comes home that night, something in his body is different. Within weeks, they realize that his Crohn's disease is gone. Not managed, not in remission, not medically, whatever, not responding well to some new medication. It's just gone, which is a miracle. God blessed him, I guess. I mean, what else could you say? His doctor, who has been watching this disease progress in this man's body, runs the test and cannot explain what he is looking at. He tells Bledsoe he should not be standing in his office right now. He tells him he does not understand medically how this is possible. He tells him he is the luckiest man alive. Isn't that funny how doctors work? The luckiest man alive. Chris Bledsoe himself does not think luck had anything to do with this. Now, here's where I want you to try to pay attention, because this is where the story stops being a UFO story and becomes something that should make all of us kind of pay attention, which is why I'm talking about it. After 2007, the United States government does not ignore Chris Bledsoe. They investigate him, actually. Not the river, not the location, not trying to figure out what craft was flying over Cape Fear County that night. Him, specifically him, his consciousness, his ongoing contact, because the contact does not stop after the river. It actually deepens much more. And a feminine presence, a being he comes to call the lady, continuously appears to him. And she's made of light. He says she communicates not in audible words, but in visions, in impressions, in information that lands in his mind fully formed. And she keeps coming back year after year after year. CIA officers, senior ones, not interns, not mid-level analysts, but actually senior officials, they come to Bledsoe. NASA engineers also, one of them spends years specifically trying to debunk what happened to this man for years, using scientific methodology, applying rigorous skeptical analysis to every aspect of the encounter and the ongoing contact itself. And they can't debunk him. So after years of trying, he cannot find the explanation that makes it actually go all the way. And then the Vatican sends a representative as well. The Vatican, which is the institution that has been the steward of Christian theology for 2,000 years. The institution that has more resources and more institutional interest in knowing whether divine contact is happening on this earth, more so than any other organization on this planet's history, in human history at least that we know of. They sent people to North Carolina to sit across from a home builder from Cape Fear County and found out what he is receiving from the horse's mouth. All of them come. All of them take it seriously. All of them want to understand what this man is being told. And in 2013, what the lady shows him is specific enough, verifiable enough, astronomically precise enough that 2 Air Force generals ask him to put it in writing. A NASA contact hand delivers this document to those generals, and it becomes a classified briefing. The United States Department of Defense receives a letter from a home builder from North Carolina describing what a being of light told him that was coming. Think about what it takes to make a decision like this. You do not walk into the Pentagon with a document about visions from some dude, some home builder in North Carolina, unless you have seen it, unless it's so concrete, so tied to verifiable events and specific timeframes, predictabilities, that you are willing to put your name on it and walk it through the front doors of the most powerful military institutions in this planet. He put his name on it. He described the U.S. bombing in Iran. He described Israel's exchanging of missiles. Someone just posted something to me. Hold on one second. You're distracting me. What are you doing? Whoa. Okay, anyways, we'll keep it moving. So basically, he predicts all of this stuff, right? Iran, U.S. over Iran, the Israel exchanging missiles. He describes orbs appearing out of the ocean, and he gave them the date of April 2026. Now, here's the part that stops, that makes me think and stop and think about a lot of things. The lady did not just give him a month and a year. She gave him an astronomical event as the confirmation signal, which is a verifiable, calculable, falsifiable celestial alignment that any astronomer with the right software can check independently. So she told him to watch for the star of Regulus. And this is a real star, which is the brightest star in the constellation Leo, the king star, sometimes called the heart of the lion. She told him when Regulus appears red on the eastern horizon, directly in front of the gaze of the Sphinx before sunrise. That is like the precise moment. And that marks a change in humanity's knowledge. That is supposed to be the signal. That's what the lady is telling Chris Bledsoe. Now, the lady, well, what I need you to understand, something about this color red in this context of everything Bledsoe has described over 19 years of contact, is that the Cape Fear River in 2007, the creatures in the woods had glowing red eyes. The orbs that had appeared over the river shifted from red to white as they got closer. That being that his son saw was described as glowing red. Red is really a consistent color, like this color signature, I guess you could say, across every encounter, every visitation, on every contact experience that he's described. And the lady basically told him all of this stuff, and this confirmation signal as a red star on the horizon at Easter, which is just a few days away. The Pentagon took that document and ran the celestial alignment through their machines, and they calculated the astronomical position of Regulus across decades. And the machines confirmed what the lady had told them. That exact alignment, the star of Regulus, red on the eastern horizon in front of the gaze of the Sphinx before sunrise, happens on Easter this year, 2026. This is not some vague prophecy or a feeling. That is an astronomical, verifiable prediction that is an independent observer can check with a star chart and, an alignment, however you want to do it. All of it is calculable. All of it is falsifiable. And he gave it to the Pentagon in 2013. I mean, unless this dude is out here doing all of this like future predictions, which I mean, maybe you could, but it doesn't come across as this type of guy. So he gave that to the Pentagon back in 2013, and he just waited. And then the Sean Ryan Show episode, which happened about a year ago, we're about to watch. It's titled "The Episode We Never Censored." Chris Bledsoe, number 165. And this is a former special operations soldier who has had CIA officers on his show. He's had a lot of different people on his show, but he's had Delta Force operators, intelligence community veterans who have discussed classified programs and black site operations, geopolitical intelligence that is genuinely sensitive. I guess not sensitive enough, but then there's an episode with Chris Bledsoe on Sean Ryan where they had to actively decide not to censor it, I guess. It's one of those. It is the one that we're going to show you. The thing they almost censored is not a military secret. It is the part Bledsoe tells you that the lady about the people in power and what she said about them, about the forces that are trying to take what is coming in 2026, April of Easter, and steer it, manipulate it, use it, take a sequence of events that she told him was meant to wake humanity up and convert it into a geopolitical tool that serves the agenda of people who have been planning this for decades, this very moment. And you might wonder why all of this stuff seems to be accumulating up to something. I have a feeling it's this Easter that we're going to be experiencing very shortly. So, yeah. That is the part I need you to hear. Basically, we're going to play 3 different sections of this video. Let me see. I have it queued up and ready. So we're going to let it play. I think I have some good parts here. So let's go ahead and move this over. Let's see if I can't fix my camera situation real quick. Yeah, I don't know why I keep having issues with this. Hold on one second. Okay, that should be better. All right, here we go.
For an adult, but small. It spoke like an adult. It interacted with me like an adult. But that didn't last long. This is after all this medication the doctor put me on.
So what did you think that was?
I thought it was a guardian angel.
Right away, you thought it was a guardian angel.
Yeah,
and the entire family said that it was demonic.
Not then. They didn't say anything. They just were listening and filming. This was in 2005.
What were they filming?
Me. They were recording.
Interacting with?
Interacting, yeah.
So can I have access to any of that film?
I'd have to get my wife to dig it up. But yeah, she has a lot of stuff she recorded. All my kids, after the event on the river.
So what do those films look like? Does that look like you interacting with thin air?
Well, yes, probably some of them. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
I would love to get some of that footage if possible and
I will see.
insert it.
I will see if she can do that.
How many? Ryan, sorry, you're now on the Sean Ryan Show. Have you seen these films?
Well, I was there.
What did it look like? What does it look like to see your dad interacting with thin air?
I was 10 years old, so I understood it the way that my mother explained it to me, which was that he was, going off the deep end. So we just thought it was funny. Like, oh, he's on medicine. He's
Hallucinating.
imaginary friend. And I don't know. I mean, you can't really understand what's happening when you're 10. So I just kind of laughed,
They all thought I was nuts. And rightly, I had been over medicated and still, but that medication opened me up to something that 2 years later came out of the sky and took me.
Mm-hmm. We'll get there.
Yeah.
What about this being made you think that it was a guardian angel and that it had your best interest?
The way it was talking to me, it was there. It would tell me it was there to protect me. It was watching over me and that I was going to be fine. I'd just come through a hard time in life. And I'm still sick. I'm still with Crohn's. I'm still really bad shape. And then got shot with a gun with this medication. And I'm still sick. And now I've got this to deal with. And yeah.
Did you ever try to make contact, like physically touch?
I never did. Because it would be brief. It would appear and it won't be there long. It would be there, just a little bit, a few seconds or long enough to maybe a minute. And then it was gone. It would just vanish in front of me. And they all thought, and rightly so, that I had lost my mind. And no, this just didn't happen. And this exacerbated the 2007, 2 years later, when I come home talking about it. My wife's like, he's still lost it. He's gone crazy. And the whole community said, he's crazy.
So that's a little bit of his experience. I explained most of it to you because it's a little long for him to explain that whole thing. I think I put the link in the description so you can check it out. I'm pretty sure I did. I think this is where he gets into the actual Pentagon stuff. So let's check this out. Check out the sequence that basically is woken up the Pentagon and military officials in the White House, or maybe not even the White House, CIA, whatever.
13 is when I really got that message from her, because that's when I was back. The following year, after all this, this was in 2013, is when I really got that message from her, because that's when I was asked by the Pentagon, by 2 Air Force generals, to put it in writing what she told me. And I did. And this was on the request from NASA, a friend at NASA. So he come and got it and hand delivered it to these generals. And she told me that, she said that when the star of Regulus, she called it a red star. When you look at it, it looks blue. But she said when Regulus is red on the horizon, in front of the gaze of the Sphinx, before daylight. So in other words, when it's sitting right on top of the horizon, before the sun comes up, that moment would mark a change in humanity's knowledge. And she showed me other things: war, us bombing Iran, us bombing Syria. And in them days, none of that had happened. So I put all that on this piece of paper.
This is back in 2013. How could he know this? How could he know this? The year, the country. Like, what was happening in 2013? What war were we in 2013, United States? Let me see. Were we in anything? I think we were. We were in Iraq still, no? Afghanistan. So the United States was primarily engaged in the war in Afghanistan, which was ongoing. while major combat in Iraq had ended in 2011 and 2013, marked the beginning of renewed involvement in the region to address rising security threats. So we're in Afghanistan, just wrapped up Iraq, and somehow he's able to predict this.
And now I've had so many write me back, oh my God, you see they just bombed Iran, or Iran just bombed us. You know, you were right the whole time. And I did that in 2012. And so what they did was I gave them the date of 2026 because they took that celestial event and ran it through these machines that showed that exact alignment will happen in 2026, Easter.
What will happen?
The star will, the alignment she told me about, that the star of Regulus would be on the horizon in front of the Sphinx. At that moment, there'd be a new knowledge. Well, I had no idea if this was even possible, you know, but these astronomers run it through the machines and it comes out that that star is going to come up on the horizon in Easter of 2026. And from that point forward, they started remote viewing this date. Government did. And now you hear it all over TV. 2026, that's the big date. 2027, that year, something's going to happen. Armageddon, you hear it all over. You know, you hear it on TV. If you study, like, I've heard even, well, I won't say names, but
Please do.
well, you know Lou Elizondo, right? Lou's mentioned that date. A lot of people have.
Easter 2026.
About the year 2026.
Let me see if we can look up Lou. Who is, he said Louis Alessandro? Luis? Is that it? Oh, yeah, here we go. Oh, yeah, okay. So some people have said maybe this guy is like an op or something like that. Okay, so they've had conversation. Let me see if Lou Alejandro and Chris Bledsoe. They sat down and talked. All right, let's keep it going.
I gave him a specific time.
And I hear y'all talking about the book. I'd like to check it out for sure. I haven't read it, but in this video, he's got the book sitting next to him.
And it was with Robert Grant that I told him about this alignment and all. And then he's like, oh my God, he's been looking for this ruby, this little ruby you have to find and place it between the paws of the Sphinx to make this event that he knows is going to happen in 2026. I said, Robert, it's not a ruby, it's the star of Regulus.
Okay, so they're talking about it as if they're like, oh, okay. So they have their own agenda. They already know about something. Maybe they know about the alignment already.
So he's like, oh my God,
it's so funny. It's all a scam for our demise. Whether or not that is what you believe, I mean, shit's still happening, no? So don't you want to be aware of it so you can make your own? I mean, it sounds like maybe you know, maybe you don't. I don't know.
It's the king star. So what's going to happen, I don't know. But I think it's possible that's the return of
Christ.
Yeah. Or the lady and the whole heavenly host living.
I am not new to this topic, dude.
With us, Jesus. That's the first time I've ever said that in my life, publicly. You're the first. And 1 million people's asked me this. So I think it's entirely possible that, because she told me that when the suffering of man becomes too great, that they're going to stop it and they're going to snuff out the darkness. That's why the military and the government all want to know about this, because they know it's real. They know this lady has been seen 1 million times. And when she comes, she's always warning of some big catastrophe. In the Native American world, they call her the White Buffalo Calf Lady. And she would come warning about, some tribe coming to kill everybody or some big event. And it's in every culture that way. But I'm I wish I knew more.
So he told this to the Pentagon in 2013. And she told him that the people in power Well, let's see how far. We haven't gotten there yet. Let me keep playing it because there's some interesting things here. I'll read a couple of super chats. What's up, Christy? Good to see you. For the mods, sorry I'm broke. I appreciate you. The mods appreciate you. Yes, look up CERN. What's up, Measure Man? $5, make a holler. Switzerland. Yeah, we're gonna get there for sure. This is the intro to getting to deeper and more context. Knights of the Templar, a part of the war in Iraq. Candace covers this. Isn't Erica Kirk Swedish? No, Erica Kirk, I think, is Lebanese. Her grandparents' last name is Abbas, ABB or ABASS, something like that. Maybe she looks Swedish. I wouldn't be surprised. Thanks for the super chat. I think Jesus and God, or they're all together, one and the same, right? I think he talks to all of us, some in different ways. No, this could all be a psyop. I don't know. But if you don't see what's happening right now on this planet with the war and the people in power, if you can't see that and you just want to say, they're going to just talk to whether or not they're talking to him, God's talking to this person, which I believe he talks to all of those that are tapped in, whether he's for real or not. You can't see that they're utilizing all of this and bringing it to a head for something. Why would they do all of this if they didn't believe something was going to happen? You can't explain that through, this is just a psyop. If it's maybe it is. Maybe they're just going to use it as a way to control maybe. But something is happening, no?
What else do you know?
I just, I think we're living in the worst possible times right now. That if we don't make some changes, there's going to be some major disasters about to happen, and it's man-made. It's not solar flare. It's not any of that.
That's what he's getting to. Is like that. So I forgot that I hadn't seen this in a while, so I queued up the timestamps. He's being warned by a being of some sort, some either extraterrestrial being or spiritual being, that that man is going to try to take over some situation, either a spiritual situation or take advantage of an astronomical situation and utilize it for whatever purposes. All right. Oh yeah, that's right. More far, whatever. That's right. Is it? I forget. I'm not that entrenched in the Erica Kirk saga. She's just not that important. Not to me.
That is a dark force. Because she told me. Well, I'll tell you what she told me. This is what I put in writing, part of it. She said there are people in power. I put this in writing in 2012. She said there are people in power. And I'm not going to say where she focused my thoughts on that, but there's script in the book of Revelation to bring about Armageddon and the end of the world. They're doing it intentionally, and that's what she told me. And that's the very thing the main meat of the whole message I sent to these generals. So it makes sense, right?
Who is they?
I don't know who they are. I think they're Satanists. I think they're people that worship the dark force. That
oh man, I wouldn't give her that much power. I would be careful with that.
Don't care for humanity and human life. And in fact, they're the total opposite of, they worship the devil. I don't know if there is a devil. I think it's a very dark force that is living full of dark entities that feed on you parasitically. Like they'd be non-physical. They shape shift.
Yo, what's your issue, man? You think that we're all about the war? Get out of here. You're crazy. You must not, either you're a bot or you don't understand where you're at, my guy or girl or whoever. Where are we at with this? Let me see. Yeah, just understand where you're at. That's all.
They take your mind over. They make you do crazy things. They deceive you, make you kill somebody, go crazy. Where the angelic world or the physical beings, they can come in here and light. These beings are made of light. The dark force is a parasitic race. And whoever's aligned with that is, according to the mother, the lady, is scripted in the book of Revelation.
Let me rewind that. Let me go back.
Or the physical beings, they can body go crazy your mind over. They make you do crazy things. They deceive. They shape shift. They take your mind over. They make you do crazy things. They deceive you, make you kill somebody, go crazy. Where the angelic world or the physical beings, they can come in here and light. These beings are made of light. The dark force is a parasitic race, and whoever's aligned with that is, according to the mother, the lady, is scripted in the book of Revelation. They didn't want it to happen.
Why did they want it to happen?
I think it's the dark force. I think that they want to snuff out God. They don't want us to have God in the heart. Why do you think they did evolution? That's the biggest, dumbest thing I ever heard in my life. That every living thing come from a mud puddle, and it can't happen. It's just not possible. It's a laugh. It's a joke.
You know what I find interesting is from the very beginning, when you saw the being that your family, and initially you, if I remember correctly, thought was just the medication,
right.
You had some type of an intuition from the very get-go that this was a guardian angel of some type.
Yep.
And it's...
All right. So he's described that. We're going to move on from Chris Bledsoe, but I need you to really understand, like, the people in power are supposed to be scripted in the book of Revelations. Put a 1 in the chat if you believe the people in power are the ones, like, we are at the end times. I want to know, like, how many of you here, I'll put a poll up. How many of you believe that we are in the end times? Are we in the end times? Yes or no? Let's see what you guys think. I put the poll up in the chat. I'm going to run a banner just in case people are coming in late. All right, let's do this. Put it up at the top. Are we in the end times, you guys? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. Yes, we are. 0. What's up, Watcher? He says 0. No. Yeah, I mean, that's another thing. I'm not sure about all the end time stuff. I'm curious on what you guys think, though. But we're going to open up. Let me see. I got this right here. Let me know in the chat if you know this dude. I love this channel, bro. I love me some Impossible channel, some James. So I need you to understand what anomalous means when a scientist uses that word. A scientist who runs a professional fireball reporting tool, who has been tracking meteor activity for years, who has a baseline, a documented statistical average of sighting frequencies, uses the word anomalous when what they are seeing is sitting outside of the range of normal variation, I guess you could say. Not slightly outside. I mean, significantly outside of their normal means of interpretation. Outside in a way that cannot be explained by seasonal patterns, regular statistical, slightly anomalous. I mean, we're talking about known media showers and like atmospheric conditions. Someone in the chat said falling satellites, which we do lose satellites. I think we've lost like 10, or not we, but Elon Musk has lost like 10% of satellites year over year. And if there's like, how many thousands? 10,000? I don't know. I think we lost 1,000 so far. But you guys have seen, we're going to show some crazy stuff. The one that goes like this and like does all this crazy redirectioning and stuff. Could that be a satellite that's just on fire, out of control, and then like zooming and zipping? I don't know, man. So something has shifted. At least that's what it appears to be, right? We're going to watch some footage, and I want you to notice some things specifically as we go through it. One of the objects that maneuvers, especially because meteors do not maneuver, fallen craft, I just don't think maneuver like this. I don't know, though. I haven't seen it myself. And then another one is the locations of the sightings are followed within days by electromagnetic anomalies. We've had grid fluctuations, interference with electronics, and another is the timing, because the acceleration of sighting frequency directly correlates with the timeline of the Iran-Israel military exchange. And I don't think this is random. If it were random, there wouldn't be scientists using this word anomalous. So let's go ahead with James.
So I had to stop everything that I was doing just to
let's say what's up to Crystal, member for 2 months. Were you trying to say something, Crystal? Because usually when you do that, you can put a message onto that. But yeah, you're a dankster. I already know. What's up? We got ADN in the house. Look at that. American Discourse. She came to regulate, make sure everybody stays in check. She's a dankster too. Hope everyone having a great day. Welcome. Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome.
to make this video right now because there's something pretty bizarre going on with mysterious
Video is 11 days ago. We're going to play 2 clips from him. We're going to play a lot of it. I think there's some interesting things right here.
fireballs that are being seen all across the sky, all over the world. And this started happening a couple of days ago. And we are now up to, I think, 5 or 6 of these fireballs. And some people are claiming that some of these things are possibly not meteors.
It's just crazy. I can't believe this is happening. The information I do have, they are diverting everyone right now. So there are no more inbound aircraft, at least from United Airlines. They're diverting everyone out of Denver because of this crazy situation.
Bro, United Airlines diverting inbound aircraft out of Denver. No weather event, no runway issue or mechanical issues. Like, this is airport emergency, right? The reason given is the situation in the sky. Can we go back and hear that again?
At least from United Airlines, they're diverting everyone out of Denver because of this crazy situation.
Because of this crazy situation. You know what that tells me? That tells me whoever made the decision to divert those aircraft knew exactly what they were looking at and had absolutely no interest in explaining it publicly. That is not how you handle a weather event. You explain a weather event. Oh, we have some bumpy weather along the way, or that obviously reported from somewhere else. Some other department told them to not land. You have a press office statement and a spokeswoman or spokesperson to give an update on this delay or whatever. You do not silently reroute an aircraft or entire airlines inbound traffic and then just not say anything else. You let the story die when the story is something you cannot explain without answering questions you do not want answered. And that's kind of what happened, no? We see a silencing of this. Nobody's talking about it, really. It's just online media.
This is, but it's 2 of them.
What exactly are these things if they're not meteors? Are we talking about aliens, human technology? What exactly is going on? We're talking about multiple of these things that started being seen around February 28th, and it's still ongoing. And then there's this.
People told me that they felt this wave literally go through them. At least 3 people who told me they felt this, that these waves kind of went right through their body.
So it's...
Bro, stop being like, think about, just try to stop being a skeptic for like 30 seconds and just think about this as a human being, right? Me and you had multiple people at different locations, no coordination between them, reportedly the same physical sensation, right? If we go back and play it again.
People who told me they felt this, that these waves kind of went right through their body.
Waves went right through their body. Not a sound, but a wave right through their body. This is a physical, like, I guess, sensation that's being reported passing through their flesh when these things appear. We know from physics that certain electromagnetic frequencies can produce a physical sensation in the human body or human tissue. We know from classified military research programs that directed energy weapons can create exactly this kind of effect. We also know from the phenomenological, phenomenological, like phenoms, I'm trying to say the full word, phenomenological, from this phenomena, blah, blah, literature. Oh, man. This literature on UFO encounters, it goes back quite some time. Lots of witnesses consistently report physical sensations, body heat, vibrations, tingling during close proximity events. We've even seen people talk about these smells or like your head hurting or this like metal ringing. I haven't told this. I'll mention it. So I think this must have been, what is it, 2026? It must have been in 2018, 2019, 2020, something like that, 2020. I had what I believe to be an encounter, I guess. So I had fallen asleep, I went to bed, and I woke up, and I had this physical internal ringing from the inside out. You know, I remember explaining it too. I went to work the next day. That feeling that you get if you've ever held like a metal bat, a baseball bat, and you hit something, but you didn't hit it right. You hit it like at the tip, and it makes your hands hurt with that metal ringing feeling. You know what I'm talking about? That feeling was in my whole body. And I actually remember it's going to sound crazy, but I remember being abducted. I do remember some like surgical thing. I know this sounds crazy. I promise I'm not being like extra. I'm just telling you what happened, what I think happened. It might have been just a dream, but I woke up and I had this feeling. All I remember is just like in my brain when I remember the experience. Now, because I've thought about it so many times and like I've seen alien stuff and abduction stories, I can picture the aliens in my head and they look like, that's how I know that I'm just imagining that part of what I saw. But I remember a surgery type environment and being not scared or anything, just kind of in the experience. And that's all I remember, very briefly, but it felt like a dream. But when I woke up, I just knew I was abducted. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I was talking about it for days after. I haven't really talked about it much since. But that feeling, though, that is a feeling you cannot, like, how would I make that feeling up, right? So that's something that's always stuck with me. I don't believe in extraterrestrials in the sense of aliens. I believe in it in more the demonic sense. Whatever happened or whatever, I don't know. I mean, it could have just been a dream, but that feeling was pretty intense.
So it's too many of them all at once. It started around February 28th. People are feeling an energy wave when they see these things, and they sometimes hear loud booms.
Uh-oh. Come on now, James. What happened?
And get this, they're also seeing these things maneuvering as if they're...
I think because my phone is hooked up. Hold on. Let me end
being
this.
controlled by something. So I decided to go deeper into this because it's possible that these things are just meteors, and I think they are. But what if they aren't? What if there's something going on that suggests that these things are something else?
Alúmbrala otra vez.
Mira.
Wow, miren. Oh my goodness.
Around the same time frame that
Oh
this
my
all started
goodness.
happening, I found out that several people were reporting bizarre sightings in the sky and also waking up with strange marks in their bodies. Some airports were also being shut down for mysterious reasons.
On aircraft, at least from United Airlines, are diverting everyone out of Denver because of this crazy situation.
Also, sirens are going off in certain cities.
Non-stop, all day.
And what appears to be some sort of glitch in the energy grid started happening a couple of days ago in Mexico and in Ohio, where one of these fireballs was seen a few days later.
So this is Cleveland, Ohio.
That's a grid situation.
The 14th.
The mystery drones also seem to be back.
I mean, you've got Cleveland, Ohio power grid infrastructure fluctuations that week, and then a fireball over Ohio within days of that grid event. I mean, let me ask you something. If you were tracking an unknown aerial phenomenon, and say it was capable of producing electromagnetic interference, and you wanted to know where it was going to appear next, you would probably look for grid anomalies first and then wait for a sighting report afterwards, no? Because the grid event would precede the visible manifestation most likely by days, I'd imagine, right? Let me know in the chat what you think. I'm not saying anyone is doing that. I am saying maybe the data and the patterns in the data is consistent with that type of interpretation. So the electromagnetic signature would come first, then the visual sightings would follow. That is not how meteors work, or like falling debris from a satellite. Meteors do not have a prelude. This is not like an opening to a comedy show. They do not send an electromagnetic call 3 days ahead, right? They enter the atmosphere and then they burn, and then maybe some reaches the masses of the earth. What we are watching does not seem to behave like meteors.
So is this all just a coincidence, or is there something?
Notice that. What does it say? Pete Hegseth.
The mystery drones also.
U.S. reportedly detects drones over Washington. Remember when there was all these drones happening? And then it just kind of stopped being reported on? Why do you think that is?
Seem to be back. So is this all just a coincidence, or is there something going on? Let's try to find out. Let's begin with the basic, and that would be the multiple mysterious objects that people are seeing falling from the sky. I guess it all starts with this video posted on February 28th in Maryland. This is where I believe all these sightings started happening.
Hopefully that song doesn't get my stream demonetized. Man, what is wrong with my internet today? Hope it's not happening again. Here, let me, maybe if I bring the quality down a little, just a little bit.
Wow, I see many of them. Here I'm seeing like what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Dang,
6, 7, 8.
That's
at
crazy.
least 8 of these objects. And again, they look like meteors, but I'm guessing that this is not normal. These can't be meteors. So what exactly is going on? So March 17th, this account posts this. Woman captured a mysterious meteor-like object streaking across the sky in Dallas. Let's take a look at this.
You know they got a blunt going in that car, bro.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh wow.
What is it? Where'd it go? Where'd it go?
It's kind of crazy how in the beginning of
Jeez, man.
whatever it is,
I
making
mean,
a
I
curve
guess it's
upwards and then
exciting.
going.
I mean, it's kind of crazy. I've seen something like this once recently. It was this like massive ball. I have video of it somewhere, and I think I might even have uploaded it to my drive, but I looked for it a bunch of times. I can't find it.
Down. My first impression is that this could be some
Look
sort
at
of
this.
skydiver or some sort of show. But at the same time, we have a lot of these things happening all over the world the same week. And then you got this. This account, March 18th, posted another perspective of the same fireball in Dallas.
That's crazy. Yeah, see, like that.
Wait a second, is that a plane or another one of them? Around the same week in Houston, another person captured what looks like two of these things falling at the same time, which in my opinion is pretty strange.
I don't know what this is, but it's two of them. What the
Dang.
heck?
Whoa.
I've never seen two of them at the same time. Look at that.
I don't know what this is, but it's two of them.
Also posted on March 18th by this account, we see something similar in Australian sky.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wouldn't like plasma burn it that color? It's like a plasma color, no?
Yeah, to me, this one looks more like a meteor than the previous one, but still strange how this is all
I
happening.
think like that comes from like metal burning, no? Let me see. What color? What burns blue green coming into the atmosphere from space? What materials? Blue-green, vaporizing specific metals within the space rock. So a blue-green color in a meteor or fireball entering the atmosphere is typically caused by the intense heat vaporizing specific metals. Magnesium, nickel, copper. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Happening around the same week. March 17th, this account posts this. Garden Grove, California, what the hell is going on?
Do me a favor, hit a like button, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. We're going to be diving into this content over the next 1 or 2 episodes after this as well. I want to go into CERN. I did have planned already. Measured Man mentioned in the chat. So if you haven't already, put the notification bell on so you don't miss it, because we're going to be diving deeper into some of this phenomena that we're experiencing. And if you want to be a part of the Dankster crew, all you got to do is hit that join button. It's 99 cents and you can become a member. It's 30% more. Pretty much everything on Apple is in the App Store, 30% more. So if you don't want to pay $1.50, you can pay 99 cents by joining on YouTube. Oh, every Fridays we have members only live streams as well.
Yeah, so this is a strange one. It actually looks like it's making a small curve. I could be wrong. What in the world is that? I mean, if that is a meteor, that is one strange meteor. March 18th, this account posts this video. What appears to be yet another fireball was spotted in the skies of Los Angeles, California. This would be the 6th meteor sighting this week.
Hold on. Isn't this Dom Luker, dude? Isn't that the guy that was like doing that fake or like pumping out fake content against conservatives, or am I wrong? Wasn't he involved in that email situation? Let me know in the chat. I'm curious.
California. This would be the 6th meteor sighting this week.
I don't think I should tell people how
Yeah, what is that? I don't know. I'm filming it.
I'm pretty sure my manager also thinks I'm like in my 30s.
What?
Is it a rocket? It might be a rocket. It looks very space.
She's not even paying attention. She's just like twirling her hair in the car. I think my manager also thinks I'm in my 30s. They're all like, look at the fireball. Oh my God. Yeah, I think he wants to take me out to dinner tonight. I haven't texted him back yet. The fuck?
It's coming here.
If it is, it's going to be wonderful. Oh, wow. There's definitely a line there. Oh, wow.
Did you miss it? I'll play it back so you don't think I'm crazy. That's funny.
Is it a rocket? It might be a rocket. It looks very SpaceX-y to me.
It's coming here.
If it is,
Oh, yeah, a little bit before.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I just...
Tell people how
Dan, what is that? I don't know. I'm filming it.
I'm pretty sure my manager also thinks I'm like in my 30s.
What?
Is it a rocket? It might be a rocket. It looks very SpaceX-y to me.
It's coming here.
If it is, it's going to be wonderful. Oh, wow. There's definitely a line.
It's coming
there.
here.
Oh, wow. Yeah. This is a great SpaceX viewpoint. It's SpaceX, by the way. Absolutely.
Oh, it's
That's absolutely
SpaceX, by the way. It's absolutely SpaceX. Oh, absolutely. I'm the guy that knows everything. You should let me take you out tonight, not your boss.
SpaceX? Yeah. I thought SpaceX was white. No, this is SpaceX. Wait, SpaceX, or I mean, it's from. You're saying it's from
this
SpaceX.
is like the best meteor I've ever fucking seen.
Are we watching a meteor right now?
I mean, I've never seen anything in the sky that looks like that.
Bro, I can do a whole week. Are we watching a meteor right now? Let me hear. Are these people serious?
Wait, SpaceX, or I mean, it's from. You're saying it's from
this
SpaceX.
is like the best meteor I've ever fucking seen.
Are we watching a meteor right now?
I mean, I've never seen anything in the sky that looks like that.
Yeah,
Are we
it's pretty.
blowing a bubble? Are we pop? Are we watching a meteor right now? Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Whoa, it's losing. Okay,
Pretty
it's
strange.
Changing color now.
Yeah, it's SpaceX. It's going out. So
Wait, when you say it's, do you mean it's Starlink? Is that what you're saying?
yeah,
Oh, here
that's
we go.
actually a nice observation. It's going up, so it must be SpaceX. I'm not sure if that's how it works, but it's a nice observation.
I gotta love James.
Observation. It's going up, so it must be SpaceX. I'm not sure if that's how it works, but it's a nice observation.
That's a rocket.
I'm not sure how it works, but it's a nice observation. He seems like a nice dude, to be honest.
Oh,
that might have been a meteor, dude.
Oh my
Oh
god!
my gosh, it's gone.
it just disappeared.
It was a meteor burned out.
Oh my god! Are we getting Starbucks afterwards?
Literally burned out. Yeah.
Wow.
That was like maybe the best meteor. So I'm pretty sure that, yes, in this case, it could be SpaceX, but still pretty strange how it disappears and vanishes out of nowhere. Also, March 17th in Pennsylvania and Ohio, thousands of residents saw this and then heard a loud boom. Let's take a look at this.
Whoa! Dang! Sonic boom.
And this is the loud boom that people heard in Ohio a few minutes after that.
Holy smokes! It shook
Wow.
the earth. Damn!
A few minutes after that.
Holy smokes!
Wow.
It wasn't just like one impact boom. It was like rumbling. No? That's kind of crazy. Jeez.
So whatever this thing is, it shook the entire neighborhood and lasted
Holy
for a few
cow.
seconds. I'm not sure if that's a meteor. And in the comments, people are saying,
Dude, I love this guy, man. I'm not sure if that's a meteor.
where was the warning? Are we sure this is a meteor? And then there's this. They can track a meteor for years, but they can't track a random one. So this is kind of bizarre because we had 3 Atlas. Now we have a bunch of these other things coming down and no one is tracking them. They didn't know this was going to happen. That's kind of weird, isn't it? But wait, it gets even crazier.
Don't count on me on your livelihood, man. Shit. I don't know if you want to do that.
I can tell you that I talked to a number of people who were outside when this actually happened, the pressure wave. People told me that they felt this wave literally go through them. And this is the majority of these people, and I talked to at least 3 people who told me they felt this, that these waves kind of went right through their body.
So wait a minute. An energy wave passing through their bodies. How big was this thing? And is this actually a meteor? So officially, we're talking about a meteor, and it measured about 6 feet in diameter and weighed about 14,000 pounds. And the pressure wave created by it, 250 tons of ton. Doesn't sound like a meteor, does it? Let's see what else we can find in Ohio.
All right, real quick, put a 1 in the chat if you've. I want to know if you've seen. Not a 1 in the chat. Yeah, put something. Put a 1 in the chat. Let me know if you've seen something like this in person, not on like another recording. I want to know, like, don't just like everyone spam the chat. I want to see if there's somebody or you could explain it. I'd be curious to see if there's anybody that has actually seen this in person. I've seen something similar. IceBT has. Maybe we should have someone on soon. I don't know if we can do it today. I got a lot to cover. I know a lot of people have seen it, but it'd be kind of cool to have a show where we talk about this, have people on and discuss it. One thing for sure, though, I think everyone needs to do real quick is, hit that like button.
Don't be acting afraid. Hit the like button. Let the system get played. Everybody hit the like button. Hey! Everybody
hit the like button. All right, let's keep going.
So the mysterious fireball situation, it's weirder than we think. Not only are we seeing a massive amount of sightings of these mysterious fireballs, some people are claiming that some of these things are not meteors at all.
That's crazy. Oh, one stopped. Oh, it's weird.
In some cases, these things are being seen swerving around as if they're being driven.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. What did it start over? Okay. So this is, let me finish this because we're not done yet. So I've got another one he put out like 14 hours ago, where this is the one that I think people were talking about in the chat. So we're going to show this one after. Let me finish this up.
Okay, so found this one 9 hours ago. Let's take a look at this.
Yeah, so this is Cleveland, Ohio on Saturday night.
Okay.
14th. We just left the city of Euclid and came across this. And we've traveled about 1.5 miles so far, and it's still going until what seems to be this endpoint. Don't know what it is.
I mean,
almost looks like an SOS or something.
I don't know anything about the electrical grids and stuff, like why some of them would be flashing, some wouldn't be. Probably an explanation for it, but if it's happening at the same time that we're seeing stuff, that might be different, right?
Wait a minute, is this Morse code? Okay, so ChatGPT found no credible Morse code message in this clip. Wait a minute, so this was in Cleveland, March 14th, a few days prior to the meteor, whatever that thing was, seen in Illyria, also in Ohio. So let me get this straight. We have a 7-ton object that supposedly fell somewhere in Ohio, and then we have this energy wave that people feel passing through their bodies. And 3 days before that, we have an energy grid glitch or failure in Cleveland, just a few miles from where this object was seen. Most likely just a coincidence, but what if it isn't? What if we're not talking about meteors? What if there's something else going on and this is all just a cover up? But this is just a theory, of course. Let's see what else we can find. Okay.
All right, so let's go to the next one here. So something actually, what was reported is that something hit the moon on March 26th, I think it was. And so that was just, 5 days ago? Something like that. 4 or 5 days ago. Something large enough really to be documented. So I think researchers noticed and reported it, like online researchers and stuff. And then the mainstream media treated it like it was just some weather footnote, right? Which is strange. And then I think a brief mention, was it I don't know if even the White House said anything. No, I don't think they did. Not yet, at least. Something hit the moon. And I want you to think about the last time something hit the moon in a way that was documented. Was it, is that ever? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think that if you're tracking like anomalous periods of things that are happening, aerial activity over the earth. I mean, this should be like huge news. I don't know why people are talking about it. I think he covers that in this. Let me see. This is the one. I haven't seen this video yet, so let's just play it through and see what we get.
So the mysterious fireball situation, it's weirder than we think. Not only are we seeing a massive amount of sightings of these mysterious fireballs, some people are claiming that some of these things are not meteors at all.
That's crazy. Oh, one stopped. Oh, it's weird.
In some cases, these things are being seen swerving around as if they're being driven by someone or something.
Dang, that's low, no?
Yeah.
Whoa. That's wild.
But here's where things get a bit crazy. In some countries, we're seeing objects, strange and unknown objects falling from the sky, alongside with people that are now finding debris or what they believe to be debris.
Bro, what is
unknown
that?
Objects falling from the sky, alongside with people that are now finding
Dude. I don't know if I'd be holding that. That is way wild looking. Oregon Costa Gates. Oregon Costa. Costa. Okay, well, maybe that's the name of the area.
debris or what they believe to be debris from these mysterious objects.
No way, Ray.
But wait, it gets weirder. Things are ramping up so quick that now we're having sonic booms every 3 days. And just a few days ago, on March 26th, the moon was hit by a massive object. Researcher who manages fireball reporting tools for AMS says that after years of stable baseline activity, something appears to have shifted. So what exactly is going on? What are these mystery fireballs? And why are these things showing up now?
Mira el video. Mira el video. Mira el video. Mira el video.
And you can hear the helicopters, right? There's a helicopter over there. What is this?
Choppers are flying after. Here, I'll make it bigger.
In 2012,
Dude,
Chris Bledsoe.
That's crazy. Oh, he talks about Chris Bledsoe? Damn, that's crazy, bro. Did they say that was in Palm Springs? UFO in Palm Springs. That's where I'm at. Interesting. UFO in Palm Springs. How come I didn't hear about this? Palm Springs has a long history of UFO sightings. Oh, the Flying Diamond was in Palm Springs. News 6 days ago. No. Banning Ukaipa. So that's the high desert out near me. No pictures? All right, I guess not.
In 2012, Chris Bledsoe predicted that something would happen on April 4th this year, something related to these mystery orbs that we've been seeing.
Exact alignment will happen in 2026, Easter.
What will happen?
Bro, this is so crazy. This is happening right now. I mean, we've heard of these circumstances. What do we had? Like the year 2000, the internet was going to reset the whole digital grid. That nothing happened. Midnight came, 2000 came, everything was fine. 2012, the world was supposed to end because the Mayan calendar. But what if I heard a theory? Because I was watching Candace and she was talking about Project Looking Glass. And if 2012 is the end of the Mayan calendar, like they say, or they allude to, what if that really is when they can just stop seeing or predicting the future? Right? Apparently there was a whole project on this. We could maybe take a look. Project Looking Glass. Was it real? A widely discussed conspiracy theory regarding an alleged secret U.S. technology that uses plasma to view, predict, and potentially manipulate future events. There was a Y-Files episode on it. Conspiracy theory. You know, when they hyper document conspiracy theory, I feel like there's more realness to a theory when they just like force conspiracy theory onto that line of messaging, right? Don't you?
Just like last year, we're seeing an uptick in sightings of these mysterious drones and orbs alongside with the fireballs. And now we're also seeing interference in electronic equipment. It could all be just a coincidence, but what if it isn't? What if 3 Atlas, the alien orbs, and the fireballs, what if they're connected? And does it have anything to do with Chris Bledsoe's
remember we had 3 Atlas not too long ago either. Stefan Burns, before I forget, let me bring him up. Stefan Burns. He recently had a video. Actually, Trigger Smart did a video the other day too. 26 minutes ago, he did a video. Stefan Burns, surge in large fireball events warrants a serious investigation. Okay, I'll cue this up. We'll play this next.
Okay, guys.
Before we go to the next one.
prediction. Let's try to find out. Let's begin with the basic, and that would be the most recent sightings. So on March 17th, this account posted this from Santa Fe Springs. Let's take a look at this.
It's like moving all weird, no?
Whoa, it's gone. What? So this is the moment this thing vanishes. Is it actually supposed to do that?
Is it supposed to do that? Dude's so funny sometimes.
March 20th, someone posted this one flying over Turkey.
Man, what if all of this stuff has something to do with the war and like this religious war they're trying to go around and talk about? I mean, it kind of, the timing is definitely strange. I will say that.
That's huge. Someone says this looks like a re-entry of some kind, definitely not a meteor or fireball. Not sure if I agree with that, but it does look like it could be. March 29th, this is a few days ago, posted by this account.
Look at it in the sky. Look in the sky in real life.
What is that guy? Green stars do have what is that guy? What is that guy? What is that guy?
Is it going to disappear? It did. Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's gone.
This is an interesting comment. When did he say it? Oh, did he do his member lives today? I think he said he was doing a member live and he was going to talk about that today. Maybe he said at the end of yesterday. I only watched some of the show yesterday. Yeah, so apparently Baron Coleman said he thinks there is a war in space and the orbs are satellites being blown up. So I've seen this narrative before. I think I was watching some content on this from James, the same show we're watching right now. And it looked like there was like lasers being shot across the sky. These like neon green lasers, which I think is kind of interesting. There might be something there. How can we know? You know, I would like to get something that can see in the sky that's not just a telescope, but that can see, you know, maybe 100 miles, but also can see different, like, I don't know, infrared or ultraviolet maybe or something.
So this is one crazy video, and it's interesting how this thing simply vanishes and pops up back again. So this is definitely not a meteor. However, this video was not posted this year. This was posted in July last year. Wait a second. Yeah, so 3 Atlas was first discovered approaching the inner solar system on July 1st. And it's interesting how there's more and more sightings of these fireballs after 3 Atlas was discovered. Let's see what else we got. So March 19th, you have this account posting this video in Georgia. And then just a few days ago, you have another one over Ohio and apparently central Michigan. Rewind a bit, a month ago.
Why is usually he covers all this stuff is happening in other countries, but now it's like all over the US. I find that interesting because it was like scattered all over the world. Temecula. Why is everything in California? This is also close to me. It's like an hour from me.
I'll post this video. My husband got a video of something odd in the skies of Southern California. Let's take a look at this.
Holy
Whoa.
shit.
Oh shit,
That's
is
fucking
right.
crazy. Oh, one stopped. Oh, it's weird.
Whoa.
It's fucking weird, sir. It's doing that alien shit again. Oh, one stopped. Oh, it's weird.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird, sir.
Yeah, it is.
It's doing that alien shit again.
Yeah, that's pretty weird. Look at that. Yeah, I mean, it could be skydivers in Southern California. Still a pretty weird sighting, and it kind of reminds me of this one, also posted in January, when we first started seeing these fireballs more and more often. Look at that.
Jeez. Let me move it up to this. Wow, that's
Yeah, that's a
crazy,
pretty
I'm not
weird
gonna lie.
video.
Let's move to
Orbs and drones. On March 18th, this account posts a video what he believes to be debris from one of these meteors. Let's take a look at that.
So it's about 2 in the morning. The dog woke me up insisting to come outside. Look at our patio. Look at this.
What? That's strange.
It cannot be what I think it is.
I don't know, man. It doesn't look like a crater. Is that a meteor?
That little meteor couldn't have done that. Maybe, I mean, I guess. Coming from outer space.
No way, right?
And also, he could have just put it there.
We should play the lottery.
So what's really strange about this is that just a few days later, after posting this video, he made an edit and said that it was not a meteor. There was a piece of industrial slag underneath his patio. And it could be the case. But around that same week, other people were also finding what they believed to be debris from these supposed meteors. Posted on March 19th, a massive meteor fragment discovered in northern Ohio could be the largest ever found in state's history. And to me, it doesn't look like a meteor, does it? So people are saying that it's AI generated, and it could be, but there's no community notes underneath this post. Still could be AI generated. Kind of looks weird, doesn't it? Look at that. But it's not just the meteors or fireballs, whatever you want to call them. There's also an uptick in sightings of drones, UFOs, and now this.
The mystery drones over a major U.S. military base in Louisiana. Waves of high-tech drones flying over the highly sensitive area.
So once again, we got these mystery drones popping up over bases just like we had last year, and again causing electronic interference. The same week we had the fire.
Did he bleep out military bases? Why would he do that?
Over the highly sensitive area.
So once again, we got these mystery drones popping up over bases just like we had last year.
Why would he bleep out military bases? That's strange.
And again causing electronic interference. The same week we had the fireballs, we also had this. Posted 9 days ago, this happened at Fort Belvoir. I don't know how to pronounce this. hospital. Coincidence? Let's take a look at this. Yeah, so last year we had something like this happening all over New Jersey and many other states where people
Let's see what Stefan Burns has to say.
This is getting weird. We are having an anomalous surge of large meteors flying into our planet now for over a month. These are known as fireballs when they shine brighter than the planet Venus, the third brightest object in our sky under normal situations, and they are bright enough to be seen during the day as a result. And we're not just seeing like a 10 or 20% uptick in these fireball sightings this month of March in 2026. We're seeing now like a 300% increase in fireball sightings, perhaps even more. The prior records for NASA, and they only list the fireball sightings that have more than 100 reports for them, is 6 per month. And this data goes back to 2018 January. Right now, we're sitting at 11, and they only also count the fireball reports for the United States. You also have multiple fireball sightings over Europe now, even across other parts of the globe, New Zealand, other places. It's all coming in. Here we see a fireball sighting from Germany back on the 23rd of March. We see that this was a pretty significant event. We can see a more recent one that just flew over Tennessee here yesterday on the 30th. This being a long-lived event, though fairly far away from our Gen X Florida man who is driving his car here. So not the best footage, but we do see a significant fireball flying across the eastern part of the United States there on the 30th. I also have a report here of a fireball sighting over the British Virgin Islands, supposedly for the 29th of March. I was able to get the video. I was not able to get confirmation as to the location or the date. We see the moon there. We know that right now the moon is waxing gibbous. And so it's kind of hard to tell what moon phase we have with this video to do a little bit of detective work right now, astronomical detective work. But supposedly for the British Virgin Islands on the 29th of March, here we see a fireball sighting over Washington on the 28th of March. So we see that this is continuing. This has not stopped. I've been reporting on this for you since the beginning, really since that big fireball over Germany on the 8th of March, where we recovered fragments from. Here we see a fireball sighting over Trinidad and Tobago on the 21st of March, and there was also a similar sighting on the 25th of March, though we don't have video for that. But you can clearly see that these are fireballs. These are not just even the normal shooting star or even a little bit bigger. We're like, oh, wow, that was really interesting. Start to see some color. These are long-lived events, really flashing, lighting up the sky, being visible during the day. And what we have seen, based on the data by the American Meteor Society, is that most of these large fireballs are coming in from the anti-solar direction. So from
See a lot of people in the chat mentioning AI. It's perfect because they could just use that as an excuse. Oh, this is AI or this is fake. They remember, they don't want you knowing what else is in our little bubble. They just don't. Because if we knew, then we'd probably know a lot more than, I mean, it just gives us more intellectual power to push back. So I'm sure there's AI, but I've seen stuff like this myself. Other people in the chat have also seen, right? Yeah, just like I said, AI came at a perfect time, right? So if that's the case, I'd be wary of any credible source or maybe government source coming out and saying that it's AI. That might be something to look at. Yeah, interesting to think about.
From an anthelian source. So the opposite side of the sun, meaning that in general, they're coming in at night. And so if you have the sun here and you have the earth, they're coming in from the other side. Well, as I've been talking about for months now, we are right now passing closest to the path that interstellar object 3I Atlas took through the inner solar system back during its perihelion, its closest approach to the sun, around the end of October of 2025. It was super active with jets and all this stuff. If you follow the story on 3I Atlas, you're well aware of all the anomalies. We were talking about for a long time, even before that perihelion, about how it could produce debris that if it's then pulled into the sun by some mechanisms known and unknown, that we could enter into a potential debris field. Well, it looks like we're seeing that. Now, something else that people have been mentioning is this satellite warfare that's occurring up in space? Because, well, we have these new conflicts breaking out, and there's probably covert satellite warfare that's occurring. And I don't necessarily discount that, but we do see a difference between meteors coming in and satellite junk coming in, and also re-entry debris from space labs and rockets and more. So we can see a classic example of some space junk here. This was filmed over Florida. This is the reentry of something quite large. I think it was like a Chinese rocket, some of the pieces there. But in general,
Wow, that's
satellite
crazy.
reentry debris is quite slow compared to meteors, and also it comes in at a low inclination because they are orbiting around our planet like this. So when they die, they basically just start to kind of go down. They don't go straight down. Whereas meteors, they can come in at any inclination. It depends on their trajectory of intersection with the Earth. So we see meteors come straight down. Sometimes we see them go horizontal. In general, they are much, much faster. For example, the typical satellite reentry will have a speed of about 17,500 miles per hour. That's just about 28,000 kilometers per hour. A meteor or fireball will come in at its slowest, typically about 25,000 kilometers per hour, going up to 160,000 kilometers per hour. So you see that this is a long duration event, this space junk reentry. It also fragments apart into pieces because you have the solar panels and all the different components. They fracture apart, and then each of
That
them
makes more
basically
sense.
disintegrates and vaporizes in the atmosphere. Whereas a fireball, for example, comes in, it's one piece. It may
That's a great explanation. That's a great explanation. Let's run that back.
straight down. Sometimes we see them go horizontal. In general, they are much, much faster. For example, the typical satellite reentry will have a speed of about 17,500 miles per hour. That's just about 28,000 kilometers per hour. A meteor or fireball will come in at its slowest, typically about 25,000 kilometers per hour, going up to 160,000 kilometers per hour. So you see that this is a long duration event, this space junk reentry. It also fragments apart into pieces because you have the solar panels and all the different components. They fracture apart, and then each of them basically disintegrates and vaporizes in the atmosphere. Whereas a fireball, for example, comes in, it's one piece. It may fracture if it's big enough, but in general, it's a short duration, very bright event, unlike what we see with space junk. So as it relates to the potential of there being satellite warfare.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to AI, the thing is you can make like let's do this. Let's try something real quick. Let's see if we can generate an image with like Grok, maybe. Let's do it. Create an AI Grok image video prompt that shows here. Let's take a screenshot. Find something that looks like, what time are we at so I don't miss it? 6:11. Maybe something like this, right?
Gen X Florida man who is driving his car here. So
it's not good enough. The James ones were pretty good. They showed those streaks. Let me see.
So from an anthelian source. So the opposite side of the sun.
Yeah, here we go. Like that. Let's see if we can have
Meaning that
AI generate something that looks grainy like this. Grainy footage from a distance taken phone camera shooting a UFO or falling fireball. Oops. Let's see. The test is to see if AI Gen can create realistic versions of these types of videos we are seeing right now. Create prompt. Use attached for video references. Let's see. Let me get Grok queued up. Okay, let's try it. So what we'll do is we will do that. Boom. Let's see. 6 seconds. Let's put it to the test, shall we? You know, I'm about those receipts. I'm all frozen, huh? It's okay. Just let the camera freeze up a little bit while it generates. Just let the camera be like this for a second while it generates because it's using my network. All right, here we go. So this is what we got. I mean, we even told it. I mean, the prompt is shaky handheld phone camera footage, low light night sky, grainy. Can we make it grainy? Can we edit this? Make sure it's grainy, old phone footage, iPhone 15 or something. I don't know if we have from a iPhone camera. All right, my camera's gonna get wonky again. Just hang on a second. I'm gonna turn it off. Let's see what happens. Just bear with me for a second. Okay, here we go. I think we're almost there. Hold on. Come on, Grok. You can do it, Grok. Killing me, bro. I had to start it over again. Let's try it again. We're getting there. We're getting there. Doesn't want to do it. Why not? Should we try one more time, like on a new prompt? Must have old film footage appearance. Try one more time. If not, we'll just go back to Come on, man. Why are you worried about my internet, Grok? Just make the damn video. Here we go. Yeah, it can't really do it, no. I mean, it's not grainy at all. I'm sure you could do it with some type of API key running some large language model that is built for this. So this is just Grok. I can't imagine that Grok is the best at it. But I mean, as we see, it's nothing special. No, it's funny. It even adds the what the. What the? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure you can add filtering to it. I mean, we could do all that. You want to do it? I mean, I could do it real quick and show you how I would do it here. You could take footage. You could open up Filmora, obviously, but let me see, cancel. Let's do this. We're going to have a little bit of fun with this here. Check this out. So we'll open Filmora. Then we'll add this footage into it. Here, let me share that screen real quick. No more. All right, here we go. Grok video. Make it so it's not so. Okay, and then we'll just drop this down in here. Match to media. All right, and then we could literally add some effects to it, some free effects like old phone. Let me see, old phone, old video. I mean, you can add this. I mean, or let's see, vintage. No, that's a little too much. I'm sure you could make it look a certain way if you wanted. Let's see, old video. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, I'm done wasting y'all's time on that. Let's get back to the goods. All right, so we're going to move on actually to another section of this live stream where Jesse, he does talk about some interesting things regarding like the Cabal, and Elizabeth Lane basically makes a post and stuff, but he talks about, this is a pretty intense post. He talks about the powers that be and basically warning us of some craziness that people are posting. And the video is called Bombshell Leaked DMs Are the Scariest Thing I've Ever Seen. What's up, Crystal? Thanks for the super chat. Love you, Dankster. I'm sitting here with my dad, making him watch all your older videos, trying to educate him. I appreciate you so much. And thank you for making this all easier to understand. You're welcome. Hey, I appreciate the super chat. Thank you. Tell your dad I said hi and let him know that we are all in this together. Thanks. You are smarter than Grok. Hey, I think so. In different ways. Grok knows a lot of information. Thank you, too, for the super chats. So let's watch a little bit of this. I think we're going to, let's just get in right into this here.
That is correct. That is who just called out Ben Shapiro in one of the most unbelievably heroic and hilarious ways all at once. Okay. Who are you going to pick in that fight? I know who I'm picking. I know that for sure.
I think we'll skip.
And it would be the funniest fight of all time.
Is that the post? Yeah.
We got the receipts here. Or shoe.
I don't know. I don't know if you guys want to see what she said about it. I don't really care to see. I've seen it already. So, but I'd be more interested in seeing what's going on our topic here. So.
The order. We're going to do Elizabeth Lane versus Ben Shapiro last, which is hilarious. But we're going to do Shoe on Head next, which is the thing that everyone should care about the most. But first, I wanted to show you guys. This is the thing.
That's what I'm saying is like, I care much more about like what's actually happening. You know what I mean? I don't care about Ben Shapiro. Yeah, I make posts and stuff calling out these freaking scam artists that are infiltrating our media through paid propaganda artists through the Israeli Ministry of Foreign Affairs. But today's not about that. We're keeping it light today, kind of. It's getting more serious as we move along here.
That I was referencing. Okay. So U.S. troops told to, quote, get ready for Iran as conscientious objection requests surge 1,000%. Okay. Rising dissent among U.S. troops as deployment to the Middle East approaches. This is not good.
The reason why I show all this stuff leading up to this is because it comes back to what I was trying to say from before. We are coming up to a point to where what Chris Bledsoe was talking about, these humans interfering with the global phenomena and astronomical phenomena that we are now experiencing is elevating to a world war. Trump is now caught in the middle of this. You know, sometimes I wonder what Trump, if he thinks about this and if he's like, shit, what did I do? I hope he has some remnants of a human being inside of him. But man, we are headed towards a spot that's not good
for the United States. And let me tell you why this is so important before we get to the meat and bones of this story. Okay. All you need to know is that the conscientious what? The conscientious objector thing is a person going, I am not deploying because I have a conscientious issue with going over and doing whatever we're doing. Okay. Like people used to do it in Vietnam, etc. Okay. Well, now we're locked in a war now. Okay. It was one of the most, I mean, we've talked about this ad nauseum, how I feel about the fact that we went in there, but now, okay, this is how unpopular this is. And this is why you don't just go to war without at least trying to sell it to your people. And then the reason why they didn't do that, why do you think? Because they got tricked into thinking it was going to be easy. And now you're trapped. And you're going to learn a lot about why we're trapped in this video. And again, a 1000% surge in soldiers being like, I'm not going, I'm not doing it. I won't do it. Not for this reason. So just something to think about.
That's the thing is they made too many mistakes along the way. If you were going to try to get the American people, youngsters to go and fight for our country, then it better be for our country. They've said too many things publicly that are not on our interests. We had no imminent threat. You know, actually, there was a good show. I got so many things I wanted to cover today. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Let me see. Jimmy Dore had someone on yesterday, and it was a great show. Let me see if I can pull the most if he has a clip from it, maybe. Was it this one? Let me see. 5 hours ago. So you guys want to see here? This is. Would you rather see Jimmy or Jesse? I'd probably rather see.
Even smaller campaigns required hundreds of thousands of troops, far more than the current 50,000. Analysts warn that any ground incursion could lead to heavy.
I'm going to show this a little bit because this shows like what's actually happening. And then Jesse does a great job of explaining the frustration behind all of this stuff and what would happen if Americans decide not to go and join this fight.
Casualties, political backlash in the U.S., and a prolonged conflict.
So the Pentagon said, this is from the Times of Israel. The Pentagon said prepping weeks-long ground operation in Iran short of full invasion. Okay, not good. But they are. They actually are doing it. So here's a little bit more information. This is from Al Jazeera. 2 unnamed U.S. officials told the Washington Post on Saturday that the Defense Department is gearing up for raids on Karg Island. Now, that's where 90% of Iran's crude oil exports
It's like,
are
why
processed.
would you say this stuff? They've been talking about Karg Island for 3 weeks. Why even put that out there if you're going to do it and prepare the Iranians? I mean, this is just ridiculous, bro. Like, they have no ability to keep a secret. And if they do, then I'm scared to see what actual secrets they have coming.
And coastal sites close to the Strait of Hormuz. So they're getting ready to raid Karg Island. That's the hub of all Iran's oil exports. The problem with that is if they do that, they're sitting ducks. It's almost like a suicide mission. And we've heard, I've seen reports, I don't know if they're confirmed, that lots of Marines are putting in to get conscientious objectors that. I mean, I don't know how you could do that after the fact, but and then they're also going to go to coastal sites along the Strait of Hormuz. They're just, so people don't realize that Iran is mountainous, right? So there's right along the coast, and they're just going to be sitting duck. The war is going poorly.
Yeah, let me show you the live stream where this dude actually explains it, because I haven't seen that clip yet. I've seen this though. Oh, okay, so maybe he did show a clip here. Let me see. Videos. Right here.
I think the Iranians can outlast us. And no U.S. Navy warfighting vessel wants to be in the Persian Gulf, shallow water.
Trump posted this today. It says the United States of America is in serious discussions with a new and more reasonable regime to end our military operations in Iran. That's not true. He's making that up. And he's saying that stuff because he wants to move the markets, stock market, the oil market. And I don't think it's working that well anymore. It worked at first.
Yeah, see, that's another thing we covered on this channel is the insider trading because of this classified information.
So he goes on and says, Great progress has been made. But if for any reason a deal is not shortly reached, which it probably will be, and if the Hormuz Strait is not immediately open for business, we will conclude our lovely stay in Iran by blowing up and completely obliterating all of their electric generating plants, oil wells in Karg Island, and possibly all desalination plants, which we have purposely not yet touched. Why do you think they haven't purposely touched them yet? Well, actually, Israel did. They already blew up at one desalination plant.
So that's what Trump's saying, right? And then we have this.
General Kofi Annan and Ban Ki-moon. He's also authored and edited numerous books, including multiple New York Times bestsellers. Welcome back to the show, Professor Jeffrey Sachs. Hello, Professor.
Great to be with you.
Thank you for making time for our little show. I always appreciate it. I just wanted to let me just play this clip from Marco Rubio. He's talking about the Strait of Hormuz, and he says a couple of interesting things. Let me play it.
Now, they are making threats about controlling the Hormuz Straits in perpetuity, creating a tolling system and the like. That's not going to be allowed to happen. And the president has a number of options available to him if he so chooses to prevent that from happening. Obviously, I'm not going to discuss what those options are. We're not going to discuss military tactics. The Department of War would be in charge of those things. I'd refer you to them, but obviously, they're not going to discuss it with you either. But there is a way forward here to achieve our objectives. We are going to achieve our objectives in a matter of weeks.
So he says they're going to achieve their objectives in a matter of weeks. First of all, what are their objectives?
The objective is to open the Strait of Hormuz, which, as everybody points out, was opened before this stupid war.
This guy makes some really great points about the fact that none of this should have even happened. And now here we are. Measure Man says, so people seeing all of these things and energies and EMPs, electromagnetic pulse weapons, I guess. But they said Project Bluebeam was a conspiracy. That's what I'm saying, man. Is if they're saying it's a conspiracy, we need to watch out. If they're saying it's AI, we need to pay attention. Anything that they're like, oh, Charlie Kirk, everyone with this conspiracy theory and all of this stuff. If they're saying that, then every single conspiracy theory, it seems like, has come true. And they push it. The harder they push conspiracy theory, the more wary I am that it's actually real. Like a conspiracy, not just a theory. You know what a conspiracy is, right? A conspiracy is actually a real thing. Conspiracy definition. Just so everyone knows. Conspiracy definition. A secret plan by a group to do something unlawful or harmful. Then let's add conspiracy theory definition. A conspiracy theory is a belief that some influential or controlling organization or group is secretly responsible for a notable event or phenomena. I don't even know where I got that from. But a conspiracy is a plan to actually do something harmful. A conspiracy theory is a secret belief of influential people doing something harmful. So they're not that far different. The fact is, a conspiracy is something that is happening, and a theory is just a belief. But a conspiracy starts with a conspiracy theory. And you have to have a conspiracy theory to have a conspiracy. So I don't like how they try to drive this wench between a theory and the actual conspiracy, because they're one and the same. You need one for the other. Oh, but because we believe in the conspiracy, we're just psychos? How crazy is that? They want us to think that we're crazy because we believe in the actual harm that they're trying to do. Why? Why not entertain these theories as reality? Because it always seems to become reality, no? Thanks for the super chat, bro.
It's so obscene and absurd what these idiots have done, which was to take a situation where there was no crisis and make it into one of the world's great crises. And we're actually heading to an economic calamity right now because they did something for no reason at all, except that Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu decided to do it.
So how you know, when you say an economic, you know something about that. When you say an economic calamity, well, what do you mean exactly? Is the sky falling really, or is this overhyped?
This is a big deal because what's happening now is the place where about a third of the world's petroleum is produced and is shipped. Went up in flames the way going. We're not quite there yet. What's happened so far is that the transit of the oil and gas has stopped, and there has been no small amount of physical destruction of the oil and the gas fields and some refineries and some pumping stations and so forth. And we have the price of oil as a result has increased from about $60 a barrel to about $115.
Don't you all think that what we talked about with Chris Bledsoe leading up to all of this, and then the fireball, like this whole program, I was up at 4 this morning starting to build this show. It's now 1 in the afternoon. I started at 11, so 4, 5, 6, 7. It took me hours, 5 hours to get this show ready. Longer, 6 hours. It's all leading up to this, right? It's all leading up to this. Easter is 5 days away. Isn't it interesting that they are having troops on the ground? They said first 2,500, then it was 10,000. Now we're seeing 50,000 and they want more. And Easter is 4 days away and the alignment is real.
It's a barrel as we speak. That's enough.
When I say the alignment of the Sphinx, the Great Sphinx, the solar alignment with the moon and the red dot that's supposed to appear and all that.
To put the world into a crisis, but they seem determined to blow the whole damn thing up because we're on an escalating path. Every day or two, Israel does something so obnoxious, so shocking, so destabilizing, you can't quite believe it. Blowing up some new facility of Iran, some gas field or something else. Iran retaliates. They're fighting for their very survival. The Gulf region, where we're talking about, doesn't have defenses for its oil fields and its gas fields and its refineries. You're not supposed to have a war here, but they made a war because
they made a war. Now, okay, I want to talk about dispensationalism a little bit, because this all falls right in the middle of exactly what we're talking about.
Up in Sunday school, I was taught from the Bible, those who bless Israel will be blessed, and those who curse Israel will be cursed. And from
your favorite guy, Ted Cruz,
my perspective, I want to be on the blessing side of things.
Of those who bless the government of Israel?
Those who bless Israel is what it says. It doesn't say the government of, it says the nation of Israel.
Okay, so we're going to pause here. What we're going to see, and Ted Cruz, by the way, I've met Ted Cruz. Had dinner with him once, and I asked him about his religion, about his faith, and he made it very clear that he is a Baptist. That's his religious tradition, and because he's Baptist, that explains partly why he is a dispensationalist. A dispensationalist is one who believes, now this is kind of weird. I was just explaining this to a friend this morning. Dispensationalists believe that God had plan A. And plan A was to choose the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the 12 tribes of Israel, sustain them, have the Messiah, Jesus Christ, born in Israel, and then they would all accept Jesus as the Messiah. And by that, it would trigger all the nations coming to Jerusalem and all of them being reconciled to God. And then the end of the world would happen. Unfortunately, according to the dispensationalists, this is not Catholic theology. This is not Eastern Orthodox theology. It's not even historic Protestant theology. According to the dispensation, something went wrong. What went wrong? Well, most of the Jewish people did not accept Jesus as the Messiah in AD 33. They crucified him. They rose again. And even after that, most of the Jewish people, many did, the Blessed Virgin Mary, Peter, Paul, Andrew, Simon, so on. Because they did not accept the Messiah, God hit pause. And he started what the dispensationalists call the parenthesis, the grammatical parenthesis.
So I haven't seen this. I've been learning about dispensationalism. I've been learning about the Scofield Bible. And I think this is really what's driving this machinery that we're watching happen. Whether the fireballs and all of that stuff, Chris Bledsoe. The thing is, the Cabal believes thermonuclear war is a biblical mandate. And this isn't operating in some vacuum. All right. They operate in a culture that has been prepared to receive that idea. All these Americans, there's a lot of people that believe this. And it's been preloaded with the theological framework that makes it not just acceptable, but righteous, biblical. And it's been told for generations now, over 100 years, that standing against Israeli military operations is standing against God. You don't get 100 million American Christians cheering for a war by accident. I'm sure there are a lot of people out there that we're just in our bubble, right? But we see and we hear what we want in our algorithm and it gets fed to us. But there's, through the Scofield Bible, this dispensationalism has been set forth. It was published in 1909. And it was by Cyrus Scofield. And he had no like seminary training or no theological credentials or anything like that. He had a history of fraud convictions, though, alcoholism and like stuff like this. So a man with no theological authority of any kind produces the Oxford Bible. Yeah, this is where this is all coming from.
Parenthesis. And God went to plan B. And plan B was to extend the gospel and salvation to all the Gentiles. And once all the full number of the Gentiles, the non-Jews, found Jesus, God would then push the play button, end the parentheses of the non-Jews by rapturing. You ever heard of rapture? It's not a Catholic idea. It's not an Eastern Orthodox. It's not even historical Protestant. He will rapture. He'll lift up all the believing Gentiles into heaven. He'll push the play button, and then everything will start again for the Jewish people, and they'll accept Jesus. There'll be a tribulation, antichrist, and then the end of the world will come. So the key thing to understand about dispensationalism is there's a plan A, Jewish, and there's a plan B, non-Jewish. And we're living in that parenthesis, that B plan. And the dispensationalists, like Ted Cruz, as we just saw, they believe that we Gentiles have to bless the nation of Israel because it's an end time sign, and we will soon be raptured out, and then God will start dealing with the Jews and bring them to Jesus. That is not what we believe as Catholics. I wrote a best-selling commentary in the book of Revelation. It's called Antichrist and Apocalypse. You can get it at Amazon.com or get the Audible version. I lay out the historic, what's called covenant theology. Covenant theology is what Catholics believe, Orthodox believe. It's traditionally what Lutherans, Calvinists, Anglicans, it's what all Christians believe. And that is God gave a series of 7 covenants. And the last and final covenant is the new covenant in the blood of Jesus. Jesus instituted the new covenant at the Last Supper, which was the first Eucharist. He took bread, broke it, said, "This is my body," transubstantiation. He took the chalice of blood. This is the blood of the new and everlasting covenant, the new and everlasting covenant. Jesus didn't say, this is the cup of plan B. This is the cup of the backup plan. The new covenant is a parenthesis. Jesus did not teach dispensationalism. He didn't teach there's a Jewish dispensation and a Gentile dispensation and then finish up the Jewish dispensation. Instead, what you see beginning in Genesis is God chooses a couple, Adam and Eve, and then he chooses a group of people under Moses. First he chooses Abraham and his people, and then Moses, a nation, and then King David, a kingdom, and then there's all the prophets, and then Jesus, John the Baptist, and then Jesus comes preaching the kingdom of heaven is at hand. It is the fulfillment. It is the end. It is the climax. It is the culmination. It is the new and everlasting covenant, the last covenant. That's it. It fulfills all the previous covenants. It doesn't destroy the previous covenants. It fulfills all the previous covenants. So it fulfills the covenant with Adam. Jesus is the new Adam. It fulfills the covenant of Abraham, that I will bless all nations through you, as we'll see. That means Jesus, not the state of Israel. It fulfills the covenant with King David, with the Messianic king. And everything is fulfilled with Jesus Christ and his body. That's the church. And there's only one church. Jesus doesn't have two wives, Israel and the church. God is not a polygamist. God has one spouse, one bride of Christ, and it is the one holy Catholic and apostolic church.
I don't know about the Catholic and all of that stuff, but it's a good explanation, right? Because God does not maintain two, I'm going to show this next, two simultaneous covenants with two separate types of people. That is not the theology here. It's not Orthodox theology. It's not Catholic theology. It's not Lutheran or Calvinist or Anglican or Anglican, I guess you could say. Not any historical Christian theology prior to the 1830s. Not one, zero. The rapture is a modern invention. It does not appear. And what's crazy is when you think back on it, the rapture, because I grew up in Memphis. I was born in Nashville, raised in Memphis. So I lived in the South around a lot of Baptists. And so I did hear that, but I never read that in the Bible. I know the Revelation. And none of this appears in the councils, and it does not appear in Reformation theology. It appears in Darby, and it's in from 1830, and then again in Scofield's Margins in 1909. So then you have what was like 60 million American Bibles, maybe now closer to 100. And then you hear it on Salem Media, which my post on X went viral and was trending #1 on X yesterday, calling these people out. Now it's in the briefings that U.S. troops are receiving before they are in a fight, in a war, that foreign agents are justifying to their families on Christian radio and Christian podcasts and Officer Tatum and the Charlie Kirk Show and Josh Hammer and all these lunatics. And they've been pointing at you with this bullshit your entire life, especially if you're an American. Now, I'm going to show you what they win if this works, right? Because this is not about theology. This is not about theology. Theology is like delivery mechanism, right? The payload really is geopolitical. And the geopolitical thesis, it has a name, and it's been taught in academic settings by professors with 2 million subscribers and so forth, like Professor Zhang. And he's been predicting the specific sequence of events that we're watching happen in real time before the first bomb dropped in Iran. And it's called, and this is like, he just talks about it, and James Lee's, this is a shorter version. I wouldn't mind showing the one that he has. I don't have timestamps for it. I was going to play James Lee's shorter version, 17 minutes. I have a feeling if we get started on this, we could go for a while. Should we watch the Professor Zhang just instead of the James Lee? Let me know in the chat. Be quick about it. Lee, type in Lee or Zhang. Lee or Zhang. Lee Zhang. One's longer than the other. I mean, we could skip around because I think it's called Pax Judaica Rising. And he talks about what Pax Judaica is, the fastest one. I mean, if you're in a rush, you're in the wrong place. This live stream could go 5 hours. We won't today. It's not going to be that long. Lee, Zhang, Lee. Yeah, I mean, we could play the shorter one. That's fine. I don't mind. Let's see what Lee's got.
I hope everyone had a nice break, and welcome back to the end of the world.
What an epic way to start the class. Welcome back to the end of the world. And it does kind of seem like the world is ending in a way. right? We have U.S. troops reportedly being told that the war in Iran is intended to bring about biblical end times, or AKA Armageddon, which is a little disconcerting, I have to say, in so many different ways.
So as you know, World War III has started. The United States and Israel have started to attack Iran. And we are now in the 4th day of this war. And we can expect this war to last for many weeks, possibly also for many years. But I promise you that after this war is done, the world will never be the same again.
The world will never be the same again, says Professor Zhang, who has a wonderful, fantastic channel here on YouTube called Predictive History, which we will lean on a lot today to try to figure out why we're even in this war and what the world could look like once all the dust settles. All right, let's take a listen.
America at some point will go to war with Iran, and this will destroy both countries. Okay? Iran will not lose this war, but it won't win this war either, because America is just going to bomb the crap out of Iran. It's going to send Iran back decades. But America will lose this war. But this is important because if America loses war, it's forced out of the Middle East. And once it's forced out of the Middle East, all its military assets goes to Israel, which creates the Pax Judaica. Yeah, does that make sense, guys? That's the plan.
Already 30 seconds in, a lot to unpack there. But the biggest question probably for all of us is, what the heck is Pax Judaica? Let's do a little bit of political science work here. Pax Judaica is a geopolitical concept modeled after historical eras like Pax Romana, describing a period of Middle Eastern stability maintained through Israeli regional hegemony and strategic integration with its Arab neighbors. It posits that a quote-unquote peace, interesting that it is in quotation marks, peace, can be sustained by prioritizing shared economic interests such as high-tech trade and energy corridors and mutual security concerns, specifically the collective containment of Iran. While proponents view this as a pragmatic evolution of the Abraham Accords that moves the region towards a post-oil tech economy, critics argue the framework is inherently fragile because it attempts to manage regional order while largely bypassing the core tensions of the Israeli and Palestinian conflict. So basically, to summarize, a new world order with Israel in control. Got it.
Yeah, does that make sense, guys? That's the plan. Okay, now you have Pax Judaica. And what Pax Judaica will do is start to control the world. Because through chaos and conflict, Pax Judaica can make a lot of money, right? Because Pax Judaica, what's going to happen is that you have these technology companies like Google, they're going to move over to Pax Judaica and build a global surveillance state. You have civil wars, you need AI to control people. If you're going to war with Russia, you need weapons, okay? But you also need financing as well. So you can expect a lot of banks to move to Israel, and it's possible Israel becomes now the global reserve currency because everyone is trading with Israel.
Interesting what he's talking about there. He's talking about global financial control, and he's talking about mass surveillance, which I believe plans are already well underway. Okay, last month, we witnessed the largest ever purchase of an Israeli-founded tech company, a cybersecurity unicorn called Wiz, which Google acquired for a staggering $32 billion.
Talked about Wiz.
We also have reports that this cybersecurity technology is how we were able to plot and kill Iran's supreme leader. And the great Baron Coleman, who at this point is probably Erica Kirk's biggest nemesis, other than maybe Candace Owens, made an interesting observation around this hacking of traffic cameras, saying, quote, "It makes you wonder about the nationwide traffic camera infrastructure being installed across our own country, and A, the true purpose of it, and B, who has access to it." It's almost like everybody is working in concert. The powers that be, they're all working together to move this plan forward, which I don't pretend to know the totality of this plan quite yet, but just connecting some of the dots. Which, here's another dot, a clip of a US-born venture capitalist who left America for Israel, now telling everybody that they must come
This is
straight
crazy.
to Israel.
He said, "Can you even say shalom in New York anymore?" That's what Miriam said this morning. So just to pick up on that, what I'll tell everybody is skip Miami. If you're leaving New York, just come straight to Israel. The other thing going on right now is IMEC. And we have here in the audience, Daria, wait, raise your hand. Daria Pishavar, her father and I, Shervin, wrote an article together about how there will be peace between Israel and Iran. As President Trump said, they will join the Abraham Accords. And Noor Pahlavi is here. Her Excellency, thank you for joining us. And I think we'll see, by the way, even more regional integration with the 70 million people of Iran and all the other Gulf nations. And as IMEC runs through Israel, the opportunities are literally going to be limitless. And so we will, over the next decade, build this $1 trillion economy. And you can decide, you can stay here in New York in a declining empire.
That's so
Or you
crazy.
can come to Israel, which is part of the rising middle of the world, which is moving south and east. That's what I encourage you to do. I did it.
You can stay in New York in a declining empire, or you can come to Israel.
Like, these are the people, they're like, I really believe they are setting up and sending all of our cash there, building all of these infrastructures there. It's a tax, like they're sending all of our tax dollars there. They're taking the money from Venezuelan oil and building infrastructure in Israel. They're doing all of these things because they know that the dollar is unrecoverable. It's irrecoverable. And so now they're trying to create what I think is a new world, like a new country. Like over there, they're trying to create a new America. And it's going to be more surveilled. The money is not going to have all of this debt behind it. I really think that's part of the plan.
Israel. And in terms of peace with Iran, I wonder what specific tactics the Israelis and the Americans, for that matter, are using to bring Iran into the fold. I don't know. And also back to the point of America being a declining empire. I'm not saying we're not a declining empire. I think we certainly are by many metrics, but the elephant in the room, the big question is, could there be this foreign country that is siphoning the value out of America and strip mining everything? Could that be being done deliberately to weaken the United States?
So you can expect a lot of banks to move to Israel, and it's possible Israel becomes now the global reserve currency because everyone is trading with Israel. If you're Russia, you need to trade with, you need to trade your resources, right? Oil, energy, and grain, okay? So Russia controls a third of the world's carbohydrates. Guess what, guys? Israel controls Africa. So what will happen is that Russia and other countries will sign a trading agreement with Israel, and Israel becomes the center of global trade. Okay? Does that make sense? So this is how Pax Judaica will profit. And remember that Israel has the world's best intelligence agency, the Mossad. And what they can do is go around the world and create as much chaos as possible.
Dude, Professor Jang is a baller, yo. Nothing left to ambiguity. And he
So that's,
is absolutely.
let me see where they go with this. I mean, they get back into this dispensationalism here.
Racism and violence in your own country. Reference this headline of an Israeli man arrested for bomb threats against Canadian and United States Jewish targets. What is going on here? Could Israel be actually willing to sacrifice people of their own religion, the religion they purport to want to protect, in order to advance this project of theirs that is evidently seeking global dominance? I don't know the answer, but it is a very dark thought.
Let me see. James Lee. Let me go to his shorts. There was a pretty good one that he showed. The Greater Israel Project. Right here.
The state of Israel has its sights set on a new target, the islands of Greece, allegedly. From Haaretz, Israeli officials suggest Greek islands serve as a, quote, haven for Jewish people in emergency. Quote, the blue and white official claimed that there were 40 empty islands in Greece, which Israel could look to purchase and create infrastructure. The Israeli politician added that it would be possible to create a framework with the Greek government to later transfer sovereignty to Israel. Quote, it does not have to be just the islands. For me, the idea is to purchase vacant land to create another Iron Dome. This comes as Israeli real estate investment in Greece hits an all-time high. Greece right now offers something called a golden visa program, which grants a renewable 5-year residency in exchange for a quote-unquote qualifying investment. And roughly 70% of the applications are from Israeli nationals.
So you see all of this expansion right now in Lebanon. They're having this, the southern Lebanon border is being whatever, it's being infringed upon or encroached upon or whatever you could say. My AI over here, I'm doing some AI coding and it's giving me a hard time. Let me stop it because I think it's freezing up my stuff. So what's happening is they're expanding and expanding. Like, it's never enough. It's never enough. They are now bringing us into this war, and now Americans' lives are at stake. More Americans' lives. We've already lost over a dozen that we've been told.
Going into this Armageddon cult video we're about to do, Shoe on Head did this video, and it is an amazing
Welcome. I appreciate you.
video. An amazing video. Okay. I learned a lot about probably one of the craziest things that I could possibly try to communicate to anyone in terms of who's really driving this ship that we're all on. Okay. So I'm going to show you a couple things related to that. And man, again, buckle in, because at the end of this, I'm going to show you a news story that I don't even, you'll see. It's about the Marines and a brand new statistic that just came out of an increase of 1,000% in a very specific category. So buckle in for that. Now let's get rocking. Listen to Shoe on Head, and I have a lot of thoughts here.
What I was talking about. So let me explain it simply. There are people in our government right now who believe in a biblical prophecy about Pete Hegseth, Lindsey Graham, Mike Pompeo, Ted Cruz, Mike Johnson, Mike Huckabee, and many, many others believe a massive war surrounding the Middle East will bring Jesus Christ back. They want.
Yeah. You guys remember those stories about
I was going to pause it too, but it's like, what kind of craziness is that, dude? What kind of craziness to think that they have the control to bring, like, if they do, it's because God wrote it already. Don't forget the silent war. What's up, Measure Man? $5. Make a brother holla. Don't forget the silent war in Ecuador. The mainstream media is not reporting on. Head on a swivel. And they are back. You stealing my lingo, bro? No, I'm just kidding. Head on a swivel. And they are back for spreading Nigeria propaganda. I think I'm done there. Let's see. Ecuador. Let's see. War in, is it, you said war in Ecuador? Yeah. Let's see what's going on over there. What's going on over there? 22 hours ago, U.S. expands war on cartels with joint operations in Ecuador.
Well, President Trump taking his crackdown on drug cartels to Ecuador this time. The U.S. is giving an assist to the South American government that's been fighting drug-related violence there. And William Lajeunesse is in L.A. He's got much more. Hi, William.
Hey, Dana, you know, this is part of a broader effort by President Trump to reassert U.S. influence in Latin America, capture Maduro, the oil blockade in Cuba, helping Mexico. But in Ecuador, we're taking another step, not just providing intel, but a joint military operation. A new front in the war on drugs. U.S. Special Forces in a joint military operation in Ecuador. Using helicopters, boats, and drones, Ecuador says it destroyed a drug camp near the Colombian border. The locals say it was a farm.
These are narco-terrorist organizations that operate in the region who are using Ecuador as a transit zone.
Local gangs with Mexican cartels.
They're using Ecuador as a transit zone, so we're just going to bomb the shit out of Ecuador and take over their country.
Are using Ecuador. These are narco-terrorist organizations that operate in the region.
So if they're okay, so let me get this straight. They're gonna end up destroying the whole freaking world, bro. you're destroying the Middle East because Iran had nuclear weapons. So the whole Middle East is going up in flames. Now you've got Mexico, Venezuela, Ecuador, parts of Argentina are now being compromised from the Israelis are over there allegedly. Not allegedly, the locals are even saying it, that they're out there burning the whole forest on fire. The Brazil in the forest, the Amazon. And they're doing all of this on behest of the fact that narco terrorists are running drugs through this. You're just gonna go like, is that the answer? So in that case, just nuke the whole. Is that what you're gonna do? Just nuke the whole continent? I'm serious. I don't even know what to say, man, to be honest.
And who are using Ecuador as a transit zone.
Local gangs with Mexican cartels turned Ecuador into the world's largest cocaine exporter, according to the FBI, and one of the most violent countries in South America.
They have looked at the U.S. as one of its main allies to try to address and fight organized crime.
One day before the military strike, the top brass at Southern Command met with Ecuadorian President Daniel Noboa.
Bro, isn't that crazy how Trump sold us on no wars? No forever wars, I guess. No new wars or whatever. Like, I don't even know. The idea was no wars. Like, that's what we were being sold. Whether they said no new wars or no foreign wars or whatever. We are in wars in multiple countries, multiple continents right now. And we're in proxies all over the world. How crazy is this, bro? No new foreign wars. This is getting out of control.
A close ally of President Trump, who weeks ago explained how the new U.S. alliance with Latin America would work.
The heart of our agreement is a commitment to using lethal military force to destroy the sinister cartels and terrorist networks.
Over here, we run a lot of the money laundering cases.
Assisting that goal, a new federal task force in Los Angeles to counter those transnational criminal groups.
In Ecuador and other places in South America as well, you see renewed efforts by these drug dealers and drug cartel kingpins to figure out a different way to get cocaine into this country. This is the best way to get things done.
Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche toured the office Wednesday following a major narcotics arrest.
This is the best example of why we have the Homeland Security Task Force.
So Southcom won't say exactly how involved or how many personnel we have in Ecuador.
Red heifers that they're breeding, and then there's like this whole communication chain between like these cow breeders because they're looking for a very specific type of red heifer. This is straight up out of the Bible. Like this is Bible stuff, and they are really doing it. And these are the people who are in power. So just keep in mind, there's nothing hypothetical about any of this. Oh, it's going to get a lot crazier than that, though. So let's keep going.
Want this. To them, this is the good ending. We'll all be saved. Great. Awesome. Unfortunately, many Americans and many people all around the world will die in a giant nuclear war. Not great. Bad, even. This particular religion is called Dispensationalism, a type of evangelical Christianity that became popular in the 20th century. That's right, today we are talking about the EQ. The evangelical question. Evangelicals are one of the largest religious groups in America, and they are a huge, important voter bloc. Important detail to remember. What you have to understand is evangelical Christianity is absolutely f***ing obsessed with the end times. This isn't just like an offhand thing that's mentioned in the Bible and they bring up sometimes. No, this is like their whole f***ing thing. It's like all their talks, their sermons, their books. Basically, they are extremely horny for the end of the world. And many of those people are in the president's ear right now.
Strike and 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 strike.
We've shown this lunatic on our show. She is the lead religious counsel for Trump. There's no words.
Angels are being released right now. Angels are being dispatched right now. Hamanda ata ata raka teda baka sanda ata ambo osa kata rite eke banda ata rite.
How do we end up in this freaking position, bro?
That schizo is Paula White Cain, Trump's current spiritual advisor.
Tell me that's true. Tell me for real
Yeah,
that
that's
is
true.
Trump's spiritual advisor right now. And I will tell you that I've made a big strategic error at some point at all, just period. Like if I was like, you know what, dude, I'm going to actually cast my vote in a direction, and they put that person in front of me, of whoever I was all in for, and they said, yeah, but this comes with it, and also so does everything else that you're going to see in this video. I'm not saying I would have voted for Democrats by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm not voting. I'm not, dude. I'm sorry. You are over this is crazy town, dude. You're trying to initiate a nuclear holocaust so that Jesus comes back. Okay. I am a person who is going to take my kids to church on Easter Sunday. Okay. Like you think that I'm some kind of adverse to Christianity person, but this, okay. I promise that whatever you think you're looking at that says initiate thermonuclear war to bring back Jesus, that is not in the Bible, dude. Okay. I'm sorry. It's not. Let's go ahead and continue though. Let's eradicate everyone on earth. And this is the kind of face that looks like someone who'd be all, yeah, this is a great idea.
Like most evangelicals, she considers her spiritual home.
And this is
thinks
not
Christian-
this is not a laughing matter, but it's just so ridiculous. It's hilarious, to be honest.
Christians should be mandated to go to Israel in order to go to heaven, and believes that backing Israel is a biblical mandate. Now, what the am I talking about? What do these people mean by biblical mandate? Well,
they mean exactly what it sounds like. And by the way, every time that I start talking at kind of a weird point, it's because I have to go edit out the name of that country to make sure that people are actually allowed to watch this video. That's where we're at right now. All right, I did it. I edited them out because that's not annoying at all, and doesn't seem.
The thing is, I'm paying attention to the algorithm. It used to be worse. I think that they see that there's so much talk about it. But also, I believe that there's a chance if I didn't say... See, this is the thing is I don't want to curb my freedom of speech. And I was doing that with Boston. And I decided to just not do that anymore. And of course, these videos, they don't do very well when I am mentioning Israel for some reason, which I think is awful. However, when I start off with Chris Bledsoe and I take you through the orbs and the aliens and Project Bluebeam conspiracy theories, we end up with triple the amount of viewers than yesterday when I'm talking about just that. Not triple, but double. So I think it's very interesting, right? I just don't want to choose to censor, but I think Jesse, he's smart for doing so. He won't change the name, but he will censor. One thing I will say is that how embarrassing would it be if you were say for America, for example, say that in other countries, if they had to censor the name of the country, or Americans, or Christians, or America, and they had to literally censor it out of their content for fear of being taken off of a platform. Wouldn't that be awful? Like, they want that?
At all tyrannical. But okay, let's continue because there's a lot more to get to.
Well, thanks to the Scofield Bible, a version of the Bible that placed little notes next to everything.
Hey, no reason to question that, guys. No reason to question that. It's like, here's our version. And just in case you were having trouble, translating what this says, it says, thing that benefits me. What? That's what it says. First time a human has ever manipulated people using a religious text that they interpreted to benefit themselves. Ooh, I was about to say something and I held my tongue. Because I respect these people in general. And I have liked almost every single one of them that I've ever met. So I'm not going to make fun of the origin of
Jesse never talked about this stuff. Never. He never talks about this stuff. He is fed up. A lot of people are fed up, man.
Their religion, because I think they're good people. But yeah, There's
if he knew what we knew about their religion, I don't know if he'd be saying that. Should we bring up the Mishnah? Should we show the Mishnah, the 3-year-old girl and old man, and like how she could still get 200 denarum because her hymen grows back? Should we talk about that, or I don't know? Just saying.
I've been a lot of people who have done this.
You're probably thinking like, okay, so what? Like, we have overlapping interests with Israel. Who cares if these evangelicals want to protect it, right? Well, there's a little more to it. Basically, the evangelical dispensationalist belief goes like this. Step 1, the Jewish people return to the land of Israel. Step 2, Israel becomes the main character in a massive war. Step 3, global destruction called the tribulation occurs. Step 4, Armageddon happens. And step 5, Jesus Christ returns.
Okay, listen, guys. In this moment, I am extraordinarily conflicted. Okay, I'm just going to be honest with you. I am very conflicted because the part of me that is, kind of like a serious person who thinks about serious things and then wants to communicate things in a serious fashion is like, this seems pretty serious. And the part of me that wants to mercilessly mock weirdos who humiliate themselves on social media, that is extremely strong right now. Because are you serious, girl? Are you serious? This is real, dude. This is real. We're at war with Iran. Quote, me knowing Jesus is coming back. You're posting this on social media like this. Okay, listen, I know that for some reason there is a disconnect between mainstream religion and being called a
So just
cult.
to be clear,
You want to know what I consider to be?
So just to be clear, like Shoe on Head was talking and doing all this stuff, and I don't know if I haven't seen this clip of this girl dancing, but is that seriously someone celebrating this?
The defining difference between those two is, do your faith and beliefs include such insane stuff that it's like, yeah, that's just more like a cult. Okay. That doesn't sound like a religion to me at all. And again, this is a person who went to Catholic school. I have nothing but respect for global religions that literally are there for people to worship a higher power and to make better lives for themselves, their families, and the people around them. Okay. Like that is exactly how I view good global religions, which is how I view Christianity. That's why I'm taking my children to church. Okay. Now, what do you think would happen?
I would say leave your phone at home. You don't want to get geofenced. Like if you're going to church, please leave your phone at home. Please.
Happen if on Sunday, Easter Sunday,
everybody's phone, the kid's tablet, your wife's phone, your phone, any device that has GPS, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, leave that shit at home. Telling you, they are out. They are out with the fence.
They took the time to jump on stage and start, preaching, like start doing a sermon about how we absolutely must.
If he thinks you're nuts, just take him to the website, man. Show him the website. Show him the website. Go to americansfortransparency.org and show him the website. I put the geofencing stuff on there. It's on the top right here. I think. Oh, no. I hope I didn't erase everything. Oh, no. I was working on it in my on my other computer. Freak. I have to go and fix it now. Okay. I was doing it on this computer and I built stuff on my other computer. Okay, I got to fix that today. All right, where are we at?
Repent and then support starting World War III, because once World War III happens and we eradicate 90% of the people on earth in a thermonuclear holocaust, then Jesus is going to come back and we're going to be the ones who benefit from all of that because you got rid of all of the bad people. But here we are. Okay. Do you understand how fast I would get out of that building and then look at my wife and go, how many people were in that building? That was a lot of people, man. I only see one other family that got up. That many people believe in that? How is this not a bigger deal? Okay. And you haven't seen the rest of this video, so you don't even understand how serious this is because of the people who are literally in our president's ear going, this, Mr. President, this is a mandate from God. You think I'm joking about that? You think I'm joking about that, and I'm not. And it's going to be someone's name that you know very well. Okay. Like, this is crazy town. And I'll tell you right now, anybody who believes that we need to initiate a thermonuclear war to fulfill a Bible prophecy, I'm sorry, guys, you have lost me. You are not any kind of Christian that I am even associated with of any kind. That is not the way that this works. If you're murdering people, if you are initiating a bunch of people getting killed violently, I don't care what purpose you think it serves. You are not part of some good religion. You are part of some kind of evil thing that is pretending to be religion. And if you can't recognize that, because you use that book as your justification to support things that are just objectively evil, dude. Okay. Evil. There's no two ways about this. Do you support dropping a thermonuclear bomb in order to fulfill a Bible prophecy? If your answer is yes, you are on the wrong side here and you are supporting an evil doctrine, period. Now, as I film this segment, I'm not sure exactly where it's going to go in the video yet, but I just am going to say right now in advance, this is why this is so important, is because this is what is being sent to the decision maker. If you've ever been in sales, if you've ever been in any high level sales where you are selling into very large, very complicated organizations, the most important person to identify is called the economic buyer. And what that means is, who is the person who is the ultimate yes? They're the person who's going to determine whether or not this company moves forward with the thing that you're trying to put in play. Okay. Anybody who's been in high level enterprise software sales, whatever, where you're now getting these
So I think you get the idea. We've gone on long enough today. I just want you to all see, like, this is all coming to a head here. It's kind of getting out of control, and they're trying to fulfill a prophecy. And I think we need to pay attention and see really what's going on, because we need to at least know, if anything, what's going on and what they're talking about. Poll ended with 362 votes. 56% of the people say yes, we think that we are in the end times. Do you think it's the rapture, or is it the revelations? I don't know. I hate to make a joke out of it, but yeah. We need to truly keep our head on a swivel. I'm just going to wrap it up. I appreciate everyone being here. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for the new members. And look, all we can do is really pay attention and speak out. That's what we're doing here. We're trying to speak out and be aware, right? And share the information with other people, you know? So the thing that bothers me is that it just seems like the government is just taken and ran away. You know what I mean? They've just run with our vote, and they're just doing whatever the hell they want. And this sucks, man. We have been fooled. Even if you didn't vote for that, like, the fact is they conveyed this message saying that they weren't going to do any of this stuff. Now look, we're in wars all over the world. What's up, Brett? $10. Having trouble super chatting lately. This is a test. Well, it went through. Still spreading the website everywhere. Rock on, Dankster. Hey, I appreciate you. We have had a lot of visits. Let's go to the site real quick. Daily, the views have gone up a lot. Let me see. You can see AmericansForTransparency.org. Let's see here. Where are we at? Here we go. Login metrics, web analytics for the last 7 days, 5,500 unique visitors, 12,000 page views. Oh no. Almost 2,000 unique visitors this week with 3,300 page views, a steady day by day, hour by hour, all over the world, all over North America. Yeah, we've got some pretty decent viewage. What about 24 hours? 300. So this was low last week, and then I made this post. You can see it was kind of dipped down here. This is the unique visitors, new visitors. But yeah, people are waking up, and it's growing even more. And the more I talk about it, and then it kind of dips when I don't talk about it. But yeah, good. Thank you. Thanks for the super chat. Where are we at? Here we go. Lori, what's up, Lori? Thanks, and keep hunting the good stuff. I will. I'm here. Thanks for the super chat. What's up, John? Keep speaking the truth. Thank you, man. Good to have you. Thanks for super chatting. Yeah, I mean, I'll just keep speaking the truth. It helps when people subscribe and super chat and like and share and all that stuff because it tells the algorithm people are enjoying this. So, yeah, we have to just keep on pushing. You're pushing it out every hour as of yesterday. I appreciate you. Yeah, the site is important, bro. The all the information, like if we can go to the site for a minute, just check it out. I put Salem Media Group and all this stuff. Undisclosed foreign agent role, Salem Media, all kinds of stuff. Charlie Kirk show. Josh, these people, bro. They're going to hate me. I might have to make a post with this stuff on it. I just added it while we were talking on the show. I was doing some stuff on the side. But yeah, Brad Parscale's dual role. This is investigations/Salem-media. Yeah, man, this post yesterday went bananas. But it's because people are done with the bullshit, bro. For real. They're just done. Let me see. Yeah, this one right here, 633,000 views. Charlie Kirk show, Josh Hammer, they're all spreading this dispensational garbage. I made this post today and I tagged them all. A whole bunch more. Benny Johnson, Hugh Hewitt, Town Hall, Red State, Hot Air Blog, Charlie Kirk show, Dennis Prager, Seb Gorka, Josh Hammer. There's this clip. Dude, look at this, bro. I made this clip yesterday or this morning. Look at how this is the same narrative that they're pushing, okay? The same narrative. And Sean Hannity is exposed on these networks, bro. Look at how he talks on the PBD show. Oh shit, no sound. So stupid. I pulled a Baron. My bad. That was like what, a minute? How long was that? 30 seconds. That's not too bad.
Ask you this specific question because this infuriates me. We've been witnessing the rise of anti-Semitism worldwide. We see it in the halls of Congress. We see it on college
Hey,
campuses.
at least there was captions. That's not a full-blown Baron. There was captions.
We see it in the podcast space, and it's loud, and it gets louder. Here's my question for anybody that is angry. For example, all these people that were protesting, Gaza and what happens, to the people in Gaza. Excuse me, they're the ones that voted in Hamas in the first place. But here's my point. Israel has a population of under 10 million people. What do we have? 365 million Americans, around that, of our population. So extrapolate out their population versus ours, compare it to October 7th. That's the equivalent of over 40,000 dead Americans in a day. For all those people that said, oh, Israel shouldn't fight back, what would you want America to do if America had the equivalent of 40,000 dead Americans? My answer, obliterate the living daylights out of them, destroy them.
Rapture anybody?
And Israel goes to do it, and then anti-Semitism rises.
Anti-Semitism isn't rising because of that. It's rising because they keep expanding upon the actual definition of anti-Semitism. That's why. That's the only reason why. Well, not the only reason, actually, because they keep tightening the noose on everybody. They keep buying out our media spaces. They keep forcing this bullshit down our throat. That's why. Not because it just rises because they went to war. No. They dragged us in. They threatened to do it anyways and forced our hand. That's another reason. You want to add? I could create a whole list. This is Sean Hannity. Sean Hannity.
Explain that.
Well, anti-Semitism is not a new thing. I'm Jewish. We've been dealing with
not like
forever,
this.
but
This
not
is
like
bad.
this, of course. So, the great Thomas Sowell had the quote. You know, what's your cure for anti-Semitism? He had this interview, and he goes, "Yeah, that's pretty simple. Lose, fail. You know, because here's the reality: losers hate winners. In any capacity. Why do people all around the world hate America? Because we're winners, baby. Why do the Middle Eastern countries, not the Gulf states? You see UAE
that is such a
you see Bahrain.
Such a low IQ statement. That is so low IQ. My goodness.
Defending Israel and America. Why do the terrorists around them? Is because they're losers. They've been praying.
They're losers. They're losers. He sounds like Trump, bro. He's not losers. They're losers. That's why they hate us. They're losers, bro.
In my opinion, a false prophet. No offense. And
then he says this.
Why do the terrorists around them? Is because they're losers. They've been praying to, in my opinion, a false prophet. No offense.
No offense. Just no offense. Wait till you see what they say at the end of this. I'm going to show you what, and I'll read you some of the posts.
And they've been saying, when are you going to bring me the success that I want in life? When are you going to bring me everything that I've been praying for? Look at Israel. They've been around for how long? 75 years. Why do they have all this money? They must be. They run the rule. They run the. Of course, what's going on. So losers hate winners.
Doesn't that piss you off, what he just said? Because people do believe that.
It terribly pisses me off. I mean, you have people out there that say, oh, you know, Israel's lobbying and manipulating, and AIPAC has, you know, lobbyists assigned to every senator.
You know what's crazy? The reason why I made this post the way I did is because PBD steps away. Sean Hannity comes and sits in PBD's chair. The whole show is about all of this, spreading this dispensational bullshit. And they don't even like, they're now, the virus has spread to non-Salem media broadcasting. I come up here and I say, here's a great or terrible example of the way this virus has spread. Sean Hannity, an active Salem Media Group voice, sits on Patrick Bet-David's representing the good old America First MAGA seated chair on PBD podcast. Episode 766, PBD is away. No disclosure, no context, no mention of any of this to millions of viewers who came to independent media specifically to escape narrative management, which PBD has obviously fallen straight into that trap. What follows is 14 months of foreign-funded editorial architecture finally reaching PBD's audience through a borrowed credibility transfer. Hannity primes the audience emotionally with October 7th. It starts with Adam. Why do we have all this money? Why do they have all this money? They run the, and stops himself dead on camera. The words that follow are embarrassing to say the least. Tom confirms AIPAC lobbies every senator and uses the pharmaceutical industry as his defense. Come on, man. You're way too smart for that line of messaging, Tom. You have run 9-figure operations. This line is not analysis. That is a talking point of someone who either does not want to answer the question or can't. And to see Vincent Oshana end this clip below, just wild. Sad if we're being honest. Sean Hannity attacks Muslim theology using a claim that does not appear anywhere in the Quran. The 72 versions figure comes from a single hadith and Sunan al-Tirmidhi that mainstream Islamic scholars themselves classify as weak. Weak means the chain of transmission is questioned by the religion's own scholarly tradition. This is not obscure information. This is first-page Islamic theology. You just told 1.8 billion people what their religion teaches based on a source their own scholars debate. This is not commentary on radical Islamic terrorism. This is you confidently misrepresenting an entire civilization's theology to millions of viewers who trusted you for accuracy. Terrorism with an entire culture, then kept it going anyways. That sequence did not come from 4 people having an organic conversation. That sequence came from 14 months of a foreign government's chief strategy officer sitting inside the editorial architecture of the network one of those 4 people broadcasts on every single day. PBD built his credibility on forensic financial analysis and uncomfortable questions. The credibility is real, but yes, on March 28th, his large platform and podcast, oh, did I mislabel the day? I put the wrong date. Was used as the delivery mechanism for a contents. What date was that? Did I really mislabel the day? I did, didn't I? Because it wasn't that many days ago. Damn it. Yeah, I did. Oh, yeah. No. I'm right. 4 days ago. Right? Yeah. Okay. 4 days ago. 28, 29, 30, 34. Okay, we're good. Oh, that had me for a second. His large platform and podcast was used as a delivery mechanism for a content sequence that a federal filing tells you was purchased by a foreign interested government. His audience's defenses were down. They believe they're watching something different. They were not watching something different. They were watching the same infrastructure in a different chair with a different logo in the background. This is what modern foreign influence actually looks like. Not a spy, not a dead drop, not a covert handler, a chief strategy officer title, an editorial calendar, a GPT framing operation embedding pro-Israel narratives into the AI systems your audiences use before they know what question to ask. An SEO architecture determining what your search results look like. 50 million American digital impressions per month, a trust transfer operation spreading from Salem to Fox to independent media platforms whose audiences specifically came there to escape this. And every single Salem host who carried this operation for months spent the same months calling Tucker Carlson compromised by foreign influence. The projection was the operation, the accusation was the cover, and it spread all the way to PBD's chair before anyone said a word about what was sitting behind it. The infiltration is documented. That's why I show this. Because it's a virus.
Pharmaceutical industry, and I think they're probably funded better than APAC. I look at it and I see this.
And then you want to go and you say, you admit that lobbyists are bought out.
Oh, Israel's lobbying and manipulating, and APAC has, lobbyists assigned to every senator. Well, so does the pharmaceutical industry, and I think they're probably funded better than APAC.
What a stupid line, bro. What a dumbass line. You're going to compare foreign interest of another country to pharmaceutical interests? Shame on you,
I look
bro.
at it and I see this and I'm stunned and I'm pissed off when I see the students, just walking across campus and being harassed, and these, protests that were going on against them that were
where?
You
what
talk about
protest against them? What protest? What? It would have been a huge deal if there was protest against them. There might have been protests that were pro-Palestine, but it wasn't against the Jews. They're just making shit up, bro. They're literally making shit up. They wouldn't even allow a protest like that. You know that.
the liberalism on college campus. Oh, we don't want racism. We don't want racism. And then you basically you act as racist yourself against these students who are walking out there, and it infuriates me. And when you had the three schools that were in the hearing, Harvard, Columbia,
MIT, I believe,
MIT, and they're all there. What are you doing about it? They wouldn't say it. They wouldn't say it. They wouldn't see anti-Semitism. They wouldn't answer the question. And I think 2 of the 3 presidents lost their job, and one of them was like reassigned or something. She went back to run the law school. And I look at that and I'm like, are we out of our mind? Are we literally out of our mind? Regardless of what you feel about Israel, whether they are or aren't, lobbying in this, just set that aside for a second and look at the people around the world and look what's going on. Ask yourself a question.
Yeah.
Where's this coming from and why is this here? And then these Jewish students can't walk across campus without being harassed or physically accosted or worse.
Come here.
Really? And the schools just let it happen? That's the issue for me. Why do they say?
Check out the post. It's my most recent post. I got to let the dogs out. Let me read this chat. So my daughter works for a comp that does audits. Today she told me she was going to a new place in Brazil. Brazil, Indiana. Is that a place? Brazil, Indiana. She said it's called Orient Mapping. It's Orient. It's Israel owned, explained on their page. Look them up. Okay. Let me take a screenshot. And I'll put this in here. Okay, cool. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for the super chat, Judith. Thanks for sticking around for 3 hours. Shout out to everybody. 300 on X, 300 plus on YouTube. We'll see you guys in the next one. Share this. Please like on your way out if you haven't already. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.